What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? Hold on. I've got a situation going on. I still don't have the other monitor, which kind of sucks, because now I have one screen to work with for the entire stream. So I'm going to open up this window a lot, just so I can see the chat. I normally have it here, so I can pay attention to both of you at the same time. Anyways, this is what I have to work with. I also have installed the viewer count. It should be up here with a mouse. There should be a chat somewhere here. I think it works. I've messed with the overlays and stuff yesterday. I made all of them. Also, new subscriber alerts and all that stuff. It should be popping up whenever you'll see it eventually. What I'm doing here is... this is what I'm creating. Okay, let's... Hi, welcome, welcome. I gotta pay attention to chat. I'll be opening this a lot during the stream. This chat up here is gonna be in the way. I get the cable for the next monitor, for the other monitor on Monday, so it should be better on Monday, but I decided that's tomorrow. But I decided that I want to stream today because I'm working on a YouTube video about this thing, and I honestly thought I would be done by now, and I am not. It's gonna take me a little while, so I decided, you know, why not stream to get some progress out? It kind of ruins the whole surprise thing, but I consider myself a Blender channel now, so look at the details. Here's the thing. When I switched over to Blender, like what I'm doing right now, is there's a lot of benefits to this, at least in my opinion. So first of all, I get to do what I like, right? Because I get to create all sorts of stuff. This is gonna look great in the end, I hope. I have a vision for how I want this to look, with the scenery and everything. So I get to do what I like. I'm creating a portfolio for myself, because whatever I make, that's portfolio, that's going in my resume. I can't really submit Minecraft animations to a professional company being like, hey yo, can you hire me? This is better, in my opinion. I get content by creating, because I record my screen all the time while I'm working. I just make a video on how I made it, and that's it. So it's overall a great thing. Let's see what the chat has to say. What's with the sub goal? Oh no. I don't even know what that's set to. Let's see. Properties. Goal amount 25,000. Oh yeah, that's it. This is what it looks like. It does work! Let's go! Hold on, let me just resize this. Does that work? I put it like this? So it's the same size as my webcam? Yeah, 25. Let's have small goals, you know? Work your way up. I think that's nice. Ah. Okay. Can you create something with Houdini? I haven't touched on Houdini yet, but I know it's got some really epic simulations and stuff. Definitely in the future I'll have to look into it, because it's a great thing. You should have a sub goal. I do have a sub goal. It's right here. It's this little box above my webcam. Switch over to Adobe Animate. No, screw you. Chris, stop it. Yeah, no. I'm doing this. Look at what I'm able to create here without Animate. It's also parented and stuff. I made it out of multiple parts, used modifiers and stuff. This is all a complete model. Does this still have the mirror? Yeah, it does, right? Because the position map is all messed up because of this, but I don't feel like... I don't feel the need to go back and fix it. Anyway, I'm not going to be using Blender here, because I've done my part in Blender for now. I'm going to do the textures, which are usually done in Substance Painter, because it's a very great software. And I've done something yesterday. You'll see. I've accidentally turned on my camera. That was not what I intended. Adobe Animate Spain. Chris never coming back. Yo, Chris, I told you to behave. You're still being a troll. What is this all about? It's League of Legends Tower. Yes. Okay. Substance Painter. Very great software. Amazing. However, the new update, I don't know if that's a new one or an old one, or I don't know what that is, but it's taken forever to open. Look at my screen. It's white. Alright? It's taken forever to open. It's taken forever to save. I don't know what the deal is. It's not my new PC, definitely, because all the components that I have are substantially better than the previous ones. If anybody knows how to fix this, please help me. I've been opening this for, what, a minute now? Compare that with Blender, which literally just opens instantly in like 5 seconds. Yes, I'm working on the textures. This is my model. I forgot to add this thing, which is behind the face, but that doesn't matter, you know? I can just do it in Blender. I have the UV map. I'll just reuse some of the textures. It's fine. I've already done the bottom, so if I turn everything else off... Blah. small window. Like this. I've done the bottom yesterday. I made like the little rocks and stuff. I think this looks nice. I should also probably open up my reference. Reference is important, guys. Always use reference if you're doing something. I'm gonna put it here. Window mode, always on top. Yep. So I've made this little thing here. It's not completely accurate. It says always on top. Mode, always on top. Why is it minimizing? There you go. When I recreate stuff, I take reference from the reference, which is what it's called, reference, but I usually add my own spice to it. So I don't recreate it one by one, like these little corners in here. I usually just make my own. So there's a little piece of me in everything that I do. Plus, I don't just want to copy it one by one. It's meant to take reference. So I'm done with the base here. I made this yesterday. If you want to see the material, if I just go up here. I do that when building sometimes. Reference? The chat's kind of behind. Base looks pretty nice. Thank you very much. Streaming while using Blender can take up a lot of power. Not really. Blender is actually performing extremely well. Honestly, like, it doesn't even seem like an intense software. It runs so smoothly, and the render time is quick as well and everything. Especially with the new PC. Oh, I love this thing so much. I wish I could turn up the fans, because it's kind of getting hot from all the stuff that I have running. I'm sorry, okay? You'll survive. First of all, I have the base of the marble, which looks like this. But I feel like that's a little bit too much. Like all the scratches and stuff. Oh, the UVs are messed up here. Shh, you don't see anything. I feel like that's a little bit too much, too realistic. I mean, it does look nice and stuff, but I kind of want to keep the stylized thing, because you don't see any of the high quality detail in the reference. You see, it looks like almost like painted with a brush. So I applied the blur slope to kind of hide this, but still keep some of the little details. Like it's still, like it's brush painted in. That's the look that I'm going for. I've even made a custom filter for the edges here, and I drawn the cracks. I think this is the cracks, yeah. I've pretty much added a bunch of, so this is my paint. I painted this in manually with the brush. Uh-oh, what have I done? Paint. It's supposed to be white, and now if I do this, I can paint on it. So I've pretty much painted over the edges. I painted by hand because my arm is not perfect, and it's gonna make like tiny little swales and swiggles, so it feels a little bit more organic, which is what I like, which is what I'm going for here. And then I added this warp thing, and I used, I believe, a custom noise texture of Clouds 3 to mimic the little rough, jagged edges. And then I applied a blur slope again, because that just kind of smooths it out and makes it feel like it's hand-painted more. I'm gonna have a different approach when it comes to the bottom half, lower half. This is the one that I'm going for next, so I'm gonna disable the base. And I have to find a reference photo where that is visible, because league turrets are always just visible from one direction, which is the top. And you never really get to see anything because the flag here is kind of obscuring what I'm trying to see. So I'll go around little bits and boops that I find here, especially this thing, like the model itself. I really had to improvise because I don't see anything, so this is a lot of me in here. Top half. Should I do both of them at once? Nah, it's gonna wait. Oh yeah, it's also funny because the ambient occlusion pass, which is what you're seeing here, is taken into account all the other stuff. So the shoulder lower, accessories, staff. I don't know what this is, but I think it's the shoulder lower. Ah, it's the accessories. It kind of covers it up. And it takes into account the ambient occlusion from other items from the same FBX mesh that you exported, which makes it really nice when you're done with the materials and export them later on, because it has all the information there, and it feels way better once it's actually exported. So let's begin. I'll take a look at chat again. You draw with the mouse, very based. Yes. SharpWind is too powerful, FBX buddy. I like it. I mean, this is the natural progression, right? I've started off with Minimator, and this is where I am now. I'm trying to work in the industry. I want to make stuff. Because it all started, hold on, I'm going on another tangent. I'll start soon, I promise. I just want to get this out of the way. It all started with the Discord server icons, because I've made a bunch of nice looking ones, like this thing. It looks nice. Come on, you can't tell me this doesn't look nice. I've taken reference from League of Legends here. I think this is the first... No, it's not. The potion is the first item that I've taken reference from League of Legends. Pretty much, I saw it. I was like, oh, but that's some really next level stuff. But then I said, you know what? Screw it. I've made Bori. It looks pretty nice. I've placed a robot into a real environment. I've been using 3D for a while. I think I can do some next level stylized stuff. So I took reference and I recreated. I was like, oh, that's not too bad. So I took more reference to a bunch of other stuff. Like this is one of the items you get to buy in the store, and I've used it as an apprentice role because it's a book. Knowledge apprentice is still learning, and of course the helmet here. And all this just gave me motivation because, like, you know, if I can take reference from something like League of Legends, like Riot Games, this is a big company. This is, you know, something on the next level. If I can take reference from that and end up with a good-looking result, why not go bigger? Why not make a full-on art piece using the reference from, you know, League of Legends? Because that's a game that I like. Chris, heckin' stop. I'm gonna put you on a timeout, alright? You gotta chill. Stop it. Jesus, you're not gonna get unbanned this way. I told you to behave. Fuck's sake. It was funny because he was like, I didn't want to put too much in. Too much in where? I was there when he was creating the hammer, yep. Oh, the icons. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do it real quick. It's like a really quick project thing. But it ended up taking me forever. It do be like that. Like the turret as well. I thought it was going to be done by now, but I'm still working on it, obviously. So let's begin. I want to get rid of the layer. I want to add a fill layer. And here I get to control what the fill layer contains. So I'm gonna set all the normal parameters. I don't need the metallic map here, so I get to jump in here and just remove the metallic, because this is not a metallic thing. And I'll just use the basic stuff. First of all, base color. I'm gonna select this and pick a color from the turret, something like... but this is slightly more bluish. I'll go with gray for now, like just this shade of gray, and I'll tweak it later with details and stuff to make it more blue, and I'll paint in the blue myself because hand-painted stuff looks really good. Now the roughness, I think I'm gonna set it something high like this, but I still want some form of reflections in there, you see? So it's still reflecting a little bit, so it's like some moist rocks, right? So it's not completely diffused in plastic. It looks like plastic toy. Yeah, textures really sell the whole thing. Fun fact, 80% of your entire render of the entire image is based on materials and lighting. So if you get the materials and lighting done and mess up everything else, it's pretty much gonna be good looking at the end anyway. Materials and lights are what really sell the whole thing, which is why I'm taking my time with this one, because I want to get it done well. Height, 0. Okay. What can we take away from this? Let's take a look at some of this stuff. So we can see that there's a bunch of splotches around the model here and there. There's a bunch of cracks on the edge. I'll get to doing that later as well. There's also like a highlight around the edge. So those are the three things I want to add. So first of all, some splotches, some lighter ones. The splotches are lighter than the base color of the thing. The damage around the edges, and of course a light outline. But also, since this is the bottom, I'm gonna paint in some patterns and maybe add some blue tints on the design itself. So this is where I'm manually changing it. This is not, you know, taking reference one by one. I am gonna stay respectful to the reference and imply the materials and stuff, but I also want to add my own stuff to it. So I'm gonna, you know, modify it just because I can, I guess. So first of all, let's add the splotches. So this is gonna be my base. I'm gonna add a new thing. It's gonna be called splotches. I don't even know if that's the right word, but I'm gonna add a mask, a black mask, and I'm gonna add a fill to that mask. And that fill is gonna have like a grunge thing. And now let's just find a good looking grunge. So this one feels almost hand painted. So grunge galvanic large. I gotta get back to this one. I gotta find something that feels nice. This is, the white is too overpowering. I want something which is kind of equal to give some texture to the whole thing. This is too detailed, something simple, right? Like it's hand painted. I might go back to this one at the end if I don't find anything. Ooh, rust. Rust looks very good. I think I'll use this one. I'll put this into the fill grayscale. This is my rust, and now if I come back to this material, I can pretty much change this to red, and the red is going to be applied based on this mask. So now, if I go on to the grunge, I can set the balance for this, so what's going to get overpowered. I think this looks pretty good already. I can raise the contrast so it's only, you know, the contrasted parts, but I kind of like this soft thing. I can also scale this whole UV thing up. I'm going to first of all use a triplanar projection. So it ignores the UV map, which is one of the greatest features of Substance Painter. You don't have to have a nice looking UV map and stitch it all together to make it look nice. You can kind of ignore all that because you have a triplanar projection, which means it's going to project it in 3D space and kind of just ignore the UV maps and just apply the material based on the position in the 3D space, which is freaking epic. Now, if I scale this up, you get some nice variation. I think I like the scale of this. You can also, you know, move it on X, Y, and Z axis to kind of align it. So if I do something like this, I'm gonna try to get like a pattern here. And maybe, because it's gonna be shown from the left a little bit, maybe try moving it here as well to get this like little pattern on this area here. Most of this is going to be hidden away anyway, but still, you know, it doesn't hurt to try. We'll make a Substance Painter tutorial definitely in the future. I have so many ideas. I have like 7 videos planned in my head right now. Don't give up. No, don't give up. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking about new model. Just work on it. Whatever you want, just create stuff. This is the best thing ever. You get an idea, you're like, I want to do this. Then do it. There's nothing stopping you. It's amazing. I mean, if you don't really have a lot of work with school and stuff, that still sucks. I am going to map it like this. I think I'm happy with the positioning. Now, I get to do this really great thing, which is to just view the base color, nothing else. So no lighting information. I get to pick the color that I want. And now, I can come back to the lighting information, and do something like this, which gives me a little bit of texture. I don't actually want to make this too realistic. I'm mostly going to use the base color and diffuse and stuff, because this is what the hand-painted style looks like, and the lighting information is kind of baked inside of the base color. I still don't know how I would go about doing that shader, so I'm kind of staying true to the whole photorealistic PBR workflow. But I'm putting emphasis on the base color here. So next step, obviously, is to add the, what is it called? A filter, and the filter is going to be the blur slope, which is what gives it that hand-paint feeling. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Look at this. This is the effect that I wanted. It kind of looks like it's hand-painted. What is this song? School sucks. Have you ever heard of Among Us, Sharp? You need to vent, and I know it's hard to be sus. That's not funny. That's a dead joke. Dead. Stop it. Now I feel like I could raise this up a little bit so I have more details on the top. But of course, I'm not just limited to grunge maps. I can also paint my own things. First of all, I want to try something else. I'm gonna add a fill layer again. And this is gonna be the edge damage. I'm gonna make this like live green or something so I can obviously see where it is, and add a black mask. And this black mask is gonna have a generator. Now the generator is gonna be driving the curvature map, which I've baked onto the model before. This gives you a rough impression on where the curves are on the model. And it's using those curves, so you have 2 types of curves. There's convex and I don't know what it's called because that's English. Cavities and edges, I guess. Yeah, convex and concave. That's what they're called. And you can basically, based on the normals of the mesh. So if the normals are pointing outwards, this is a shape. The normals are pointing outwards, so this is up, this is outwards. There's an edge here, so it detects that there's an angle between these two edges, and the normals are pointing out, so this is an outwards edge, and detects it and kind of, you know, creates a mask around all those edges, which is seriously amazing because it lets you create edge damage and stuff like textures and that easily. I also have to add something else later. I just reminded myself. So I'm gonna decrease the big, the large, and the huge because I just want the edge damage like this. This looks pretty good. I don't think I need to fiddle with this too much. I'm also going to use a texture for this, and the texture is gonna be one of the grunges, and I can find something really messy, like grunge marble shapes. No, that's a bad one. Something that looks like, ooh, plaster. This is stone, but plaster kinda looks hand-painted. Let's try. Where is it? I gotta find the texture parameters. Is that it? It's in here. Invert. That's not it. Texture opacity. That's the first thing. And invert. So it's kind of... It's using that texture to create edges. So if I scale this down so the scratches are bigger, increase the contrast so it's a little bit more sharp, like this, you see. Brightness down, brightness up. Oh, it's overlaying. So what if I add this to subtract and invert it again? There we go. So now I'm subtracting the texture from the original curvature map. So I'm only getting bits of the image here and there because it's subtracting everything else. What makes me want to decrease the contrast so it's a little bit more obvious? If I decrease the brightness, it's all gonna be here. I just have to fiddle with the settings here. If I increase the contrast by a lot and decrease the brightness, it's now starting to make the entire thing visible. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Decrease the contrast a little bit, like that. I guess that looks nice. I mean, it's gonna be like far away on the render. I shouldn't be going into details too much. That's a really bad habit of mine. I get stuck in the tiny details that no one's gonna care. Let's go back into the curvature and set this to dual. So both kinds of edges are gonna be visible. So the outwards one and the inwards ones. I'm seeing something here though. This is not a curve. Why is this here? Well, there's a little English. It's a little flaw, I'm gonna say, with my model because I've baked a normal randomly generated UV map, so this is not ideal. So I'm just gonna add a paint. It's detecting the holes in the UV map as a curvature, which is doesn't make any sense because it's not really there. So I'm just gonna paint over this and hide it. Luckily you can add layers here, so I can always just go back and fix it. So I'm just gonna do this, paint over the ones. It's not that big of a deal, you know. I can always fix it anytime I want. It's a small thing to have to fix. I'll also soften this here up because it's kind of obvious. I'll leave some splooches in anyway because it gives some texture to my model. Let's see what the chat says. Chris, stop it! What the hell? Dude, that's not cool. I'm gonna mute you on the chat. You won't be able to chat at all. Stop it. Behave yourself. SharpWind bot when? SharpWind showed us the tattoo. Oh yeah, I got a tattoo. Look at this. It looks pretty cool. It's the White Lotus from The Last Airbender. It's 4 days old. Today's the day that I took off the foil. And yeah, I had to you know, wash away all the blood. I got the cream and applied it for the first time, so I'm taking good care of it. I want this to stick and I want this to look nice. So I'm still hyped. This is the biggest thing in my life right now. The tattoo situation. Okay, just remove some of this. This looks so much better already. Bruh. And it's achieved so quickly. Like, the curvature map is great. Imagine if I had to manually paint all of those edges, just like I had to on the bottom, because I didn't make a curvature map for that. And only when I started painting, I was like, oh, wait, I could have used the curvature map. Well, it's too late now. Might as well just finish. Let me know when you guys get tired of the music, because I can change it up. I bought my own license for Epidemic Sound. I no longer have a partnership with anybody, so they don't take taxes off of my income, which is nice, but at the same time I have to pay for the license myself. They don't cover it. I'm gonna leave the ones here. I'm gonna leave the ones there. And if I'm not happy with this, I could just go into the brushes. Where are they? Where are they? And pick one of the brushes that I like. So maybe Dirt 1. And I can manually put this to 1 and paint the rest of the splotches, like the rest of the edge damage. I think I'm making this a little bit too damaged. Like I'm adding too much of this. Maybe I'll do it like this. So there's a big chunk here, because turrets get attacked regularly. I could add like a little damaged thing, like a big crack inside. Let's go back to the curvature. Let's see what I can do with this. If I increase the brightness, it's gonna slowly start dissipating. Maybe that's a good thing. We don't want to go overboard. We just want some details around the edges, and I'll come back and manually paint some extra details as well. So now that I've got this, I'm gonna go back into the base color, single channel, and I am going to pick a base color for this, which is gonna be white, bright, and I'm gonna increase it more, like this, so it feels like it's scratched. Yeah, it's scratched some bits of the tower off. I'm also going to decrease the roughness here, because this is a crack. It's usually very harsh. It's got lots of bumps and stuff, and I'll put the height down. Notice what's happening here. When I fiddle with the height, it's either going up or it's either going down. This is the normal map. Actually, this is the displacement map in action, except it's not actually displacing because I have displacement turned off. But in Blender, I get to use this as actual geometry displacement, which is going to displace the model and make it look like it's been damaged. Now that I've added this, though, it looks like this is very poorly made, so I'm just going to go back and fix some of this stuff. It's way too noisy. I'm gonna probably increase this, like this. So this feels like a proper crack. The edges are still a little bit too broken down. You know what I mean? Okay, it looks fine from far away. So this is the belt. I also have to add another thing I said, because it looks very cool. It's gonna go above the splooches, and it's gonna be a fill layer, and this is gonna be, let's say dirt, because that's the closest to what it is. I'm gonna use a red here, just to make it obvious what it is. Black mask, add a generator, and the generator is gonna be using a position map. Where is it? Position. If you don't know what this is a very, very useful map, and I love every single bit of it. Position, if we go into mesh maps, position map is pretty much a position in 3D space, where the vertices and the faces are located in the 3D space. So these bright areas up here, it actually pretty much assigns color to the object based on the position, and it then uses that color to drive as a mask, if that makes any sense. I think it makes sense. Usually when I try to over-explain things and then come back to them in the editing, I'm like, why did I explain this so hard? Like, it makes sense, right? It made sense the first time, but I made like 5 other iterations to this. Hey, Sharp, welcome. I'm a head out. There's nothing to talk about. I love you, Sharp, no homo. Oh, thank you very much. I love you too, man, no homo. Okay, now let's fiddle with this thing. First of all, position gradient, like an inverted, so... Ooh, never mind. Balance is this thing. First, I'm gonna increase the contrast, and then balance is what determines where it is. If I invert it now, yes. This is where the position is. I want to add some dirt from the bottom. It's slowly less and less dirty. I want to make the tower dirtier on the bottom. Like there's little dust speckles and stuff accumulating on the bottom of the turret, but not as much the more up you go on the turret. So this is the top to bottom thing. I think the only thing I need here Oh, so this is like another slider. Okay, never mind. I don't need to fiddle with this at all. I'm gonna use texture as well, but I'll add that later. First, I need to get this done. So balance, I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna use this, and this is gonna be pretty much my dirt thing. Let me just drop it down a bit more because it seems to be scaling in one direction far more than the other. Maybe add some of it back later. And now the texture here is once again going to be one of the grunges. So the texture here, let's go to grunges. What looks like dirt? Maybe there's, oh, a grunge dirt map? Wow, I didn't think of that. Let's add this in. And the texture here is not going to be overlaid, but it's going to be subtracting. And texture opacity has to go up, of course. Now, contrast, bring it up because I want, you know, uniform splooches because it looks better with the texture. Scale it up a little bit. I want to have the same similar feeling. Oh, alert, new subscriber, welcome. That's what I was talking about. I've made those little alert overlays. Welcome to the channel. Have fun, enjoy your stay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna continue doing what I was doing before. Let's mess with the gradient because I feel like this should be a little more gradual. So let's decrease the contrast and bring the balance up a little bit. Let's decrease it even more. Now I can bring it down because decreasing the contrast kind of makes the gradient creep up as well. So I feel like this looks fine. I feel like this is good enough. So now I can go back into my dirt and use like a really crappy color. Let's use blue. Actually, we could actually use blue, yeah, because it is blue towards the bottom. So let's tweak this a little bit more. I just got a big brain idea here. Balance, bring it up. Contrast, bring it up, down. I don't even know, like just make it look nice. This could be brighter, so let's raise this. Yeah. That feels similar to the whole thing. Maybe let's tweak the colors a little bit still. Something like this, like very cyan, almost greenish. I think this looks nice. This, but I kind of want to add more contrast to the texture itself. Brightness down, no, brightness up. This is just messing with the whole thing. Triplanar contrast. That doesn't do anything. Okay. Let's... Can I copy the color value? I can't. Frick. I was gonna sort of... Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this layer. And just keep it there. That's my copy. Because I want to see what I'm doing. I want more control over the texture. Then I'll just copy the color from that. Position. Let's see what the chat's saying. Oh, there's a lot of chat. Hey Sharp, have you seen Arcane? You should try making Arcane style texture. Yes, that's actually one of my goals right now. Arcane was freaking amazing. Everything inside Arcane was the best. It's like letting artists do their thing. Yeah, like there's nothing bad I can say about it. And I really love the shading style and I've been wanting to get into it. Like really figure out how they did what they did. And this is sort of like my beginner attempts to making this, right? I haven't done much in that sense. Okay, texture opacity. I'm pretty sure... Like, if I increase the contrast, why is it all white, right? Because if I do brightness... I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm getting more splooches now, but still, it's a little bit too uniform. If I add brightness now... Like, how do I get the uniformity? Maybe I should use a different grunge map, like something like this, which has more defined shapes. I'll try that. This one. And now, of course, it has different settings, so if I increase the contrast and balance, that's what I needed. Those are the parameters. Oops. Balance has to stay on 0.5, contrast goes back to 0. Oh, it's saving... Here's another thing, it's gonna be saving for a while. Literally like 5 minutes or so. I don't know why that's happening. It's a really slow thing. I don't know why. I hate this. I love Minimeter tutorials. I'm sorry, dude, but I'm moving on to Blender and stuff. I'm doing production now. Sorry. I do have a bunch of old tutorials, if that helps, but this channel is probably not the best address for new Minimeter tutorials at this point. Nothing like spending a few hours on a walk cycle and thinking. Yeah, just creating stuff is generally very fun. I'm still drawing with an Adobe Animate. Okay, if that makes you happy, I want a tutorial on writing animation, like character writing or something. Dude, same. This is not one of my strong points. I'm still struggling with writing myself. It's still saving. I can see the little cursor turning blue. I'm waiting for the software to save the freaking project so I can continue working. Yeah, writing is something I struggle with a lot as well. And I don't know what to say. I've been looking into videos. I recommend you should try watching YouTube videos on the topic. There's a channel called Hello Future Me. He breaks down writing a lot, so maybe that's gonna help you a little bit, because it did help me a little bit, but I still don't feel comfortable enough with writing as it is to make a full-on tutorial on it. In my opinion, writing is something that it takes a lot of trial and error. Something that a famous director, right? I watched an interview with directors, and one of the famous directors said, writing is one of those things where if you want to get 10 good ideas, you need to get 500 bad ideas. So you just need to think about ideas all the time and develop that muscle in your brain that's going to help you think of the ideas. And it's going to come naturally. You're going to get ideas all the time. The point is, a lot of them are going to be bad, and that's okay. If you get a lot of bad ideas, potentially there's more chances of you finding a good idea in there. That's the trick. You gotta do it a lot, which is also the reason why I'm doing all this a lot, because I want to create as much as I possibly can, because the more you do it, the more chances you get at actually making something look nice. Plus, you develop skills and you're able to create on a better level. Hey Sharp, why didn't you make a second channel for only Blender tutorials? No, because my main channel is going to be dedicated to Blender tutorials. I'm moving on from Minimeter. I'm no longer a Minimeter channel. If you hate him for his Blender, then understand this. Minimeter is a simple software. Understandably reasonable why he's moving. I feel like Minimeter is great if you want to start out, because you learn all the basics and stuff. But if you want to progress and actually hop into the 3D world of art and stuff, I think it's only natural that you slowly switch on to bigger software, because Minimeter is not really meant to create things on a world-class level. If you take a look at Arcane, it is something which you can achieve with Blender. Like, the visuals in Arcane and the story and the production, it's one of the best freaking rated series worldwide, honestly. No, I mean, literally, like, I think it's the second or third best series ever made, ever. And Blender is the type of tool that lets you create all of that and achieve that level of detail. Why wouldn't you want to move on, if this is what you want? If you want to stay with Minecraft animations, you can stay with Minimeter. Like, there's no need or pressure for you to move on to bigger stuff if that's not what you're looking for. If you want to upgrade your Minimeter animation and say make more advanced particle systems and stuff, you could also move on to bigger software like Blender and continue working on Minecraft stuff. There's nothing wrong with that either. Just do what makes you happy. And for me personally, making something like this, like next level, which is not limited to Minimeter's voxel style, like this, what I'm looking at right now, the freaking turret here, something like this looks pretty good. And something like Arcane, I'm trying to stylize my things, and honestly it's something that makes me happy, and it's only natural for me to move on to that software. There's nothing wrong with that. And I kind of expected a bunch of, not hate, but a little bit of a backlash from moving on to Minimeter, because I've been doing it for so long, and all of a sudden I'm just, I'm gone, you're on your own now. But I think it's the only natural progression. Let me add, subtract. Oh, I think I got it, boys. I think I got something that I really wanted. That's cool. Okay, if I increase the contrast here and now increase the balance here. I think this is what I was looking for. I think this is the effect that I was going for. Little sploots, little boops and bits and stuff. Increase the contrast again. Does that do anything? No, maybe decrease it so I get the perfect balance of the little bits and boops. I think this should work nice. So now I guess what I gotta do is actually nothing, because I can color pick this. Big brain. No, but it's not visible. There's not enough contrast between the textures that I'm using. I shot myself in the foot there. Blender is entertaining nonetheless, definitely. Although shading can be a pain. Shading is fun. Dude, I'm gonna argue with you all day. Shading is fucking fun. This is what I'm doing right now. Deal with it. Sharp uses instant transition from Animator to Blender and others. Oh yes, I've instantly moved on. No, I've been doing this for 2 years in the background. I just haven't talked about it on YouTube too much. I love this. I like my Animator tutorials. Okay. I mean, you like both. That's a win-win. Isn't that right? Okay. I'm gonna do this because it really brings out the whole texture thing. I feel like the splooches could be bigger. I'm trying to get this to work. The position gradient. What if I decrease the contrast here? Like this. And make the texture size a little bit bigger. Okay. Triplanar contrast. That still doesn't do anything. I don't know what this is for. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know everything. But what I do know is that the texture is now being applied to the entire thing. Which means I'm no longer limited to using just the gradient thing. If I invert this, oh, that's what it does. Grayscale conversion, now blending mode adds sub. What if I try other blending modes? One of them is gonna have to work, right? So multiply is not too bad, but it doesn't give me enough. Add subtract was the best one so far, because you really get those splots. Max lighten, I don't know how this works, but I know it works sometimes. You just have to try. If you don't know, you just have to try and see. Overlay looks nice, but not in this case. Screen, obviously it's not gonna look nice. Soft light, I think this is also gonna look like crap. Okay, let's go with add and sub. And let's add the filter, the blur slope thing. And let's decrease the intensity here. So it feels like somebody spilled paint or something, right? Let's see what we got. So this is the base. I started off with this. I've added some splooches here. I've added some dirt splats, and I added some edge damage. That really kind of helps sell it. And now I think it's time for shading and patterns. Let's see. Oh, I opened up Discord by mistake. This is what I should be opening. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Fallen. What's up? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Blender is cool, though. Yes, it is. It's honestly amazing. And the fact that it's all free is just another level of mind blown. How is this even possible? What can I do with the textures here? Okay, I think the dirt is going to be called blue. And I also think that the blue should be on top. So the paints and the patterns are gonna be done on the splooches thing. Above the splooches layer. So let's add this. Let's rename it patterns. I am not going to... Actually, I haven't touched on this yet, but splooches. Let's disable this. Splooches actually have a bit of roughness going on. I'll increase that a little bit so it's not too rough. It's not too reflective on this. I could add some height information as well if I wanted to, like this. So it feels like it's painted, but like there's also a little bit of a layer to that. And normal I'm not gonna touch because height and normal kind of affect each other. And if I go to the blue pattern here, roughness, yeah, it can go down actually. I don't really care too much. And the height can really be brought up. So it's like it's little specks on top. Again, this is the part where I'm not really staying true to the source material too much. I'm kind of modifying it a bit. But I don't care because it kind of looks nice. I feel like it was a bit too much though. So just a little bit, just a hint. So it feels a little bit more three-dimensional, even though it's not. Like, there's a little bit of extra detail on it. And edge damage, I've already fiddled with that. And the height is kind of extreme. So let's bring it down a little bit. Like this. And now if I go to the patterns, I'm going to disable the color just so I can see what I'm doing. The patterns are going to have a really high roughness, like no reflections whatsoever. They're going to have a little bit of a height going on, and I'll add that later on. And once again, I'm going to go to the base color channel so I can see a singular channel, and the color... Frick. I'm just going to pick the color from here. Actually, I'm going to add a black mask, and now I'm going to pick the color. Now I can actually pick the dark one. And now if I change this to a white mask, this is what it's going to look like when it's painted. So that's it. Going back to my material. If you exported that, it would automatically make the normal, the roughness, and the displacement. Do you have to make separate? I have no idea what I'm saying. Yes, this substance painter is great because, okay, say I've just made a fill layer that kind of separates. It's gonna paint the base color, it's gonna paint the roughness, it's gonna paint the normal, it's gonna paint the height. It's gonna paint all of that, and if I just add like a paint layer here, and if I paint anything, I gotta change my brush. This is not the right brush. Okay, if I paint anything here, it's gonna apply the base color, roughness, height, and normal maps on this part of the model which uses the UV. If you want another example here, hold on, let me just use a different brush which is not that intense. If I use 3D and 2D, and this is pretty much what I'm doing. You can see I'm painting both on the model as well as on the UV. So I'm actually painting on the UV, but based on where I paint on the model, it modifies the UV that I'm actually painting on it. So if that makes any sense, I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but that's what it is. I'm actually painting 4 separate maps with a single brush stroke. Whenever I stroke the brush, I paint on 4 different maps, and at the end I just export those maps and use them as texture maps. It already has the same UV and it works. That's it. That's how this thing works pretty much. 3D only. It's a cool software. Oh no, the stream is bad. Someone said that the quality just went down. I don't know what's going on. I can't really help you. This is a splooge thing? Okay, let me just do something like this. I feel like that could be a great brush to make the pattern. So size is fine, flow is fine, opacity is fine, size jitter, I'm gonna drop that down. Angle jitter, I'm gonna drop that down a bit as well. So I get more smooth results. This is still a bit too much, so size jitter, angle jitter. Oh, I think it's position jitter. Yeah, that's it. Maybe I can bring this up a little bit still. Yeah. So I customize the brush. I enter orthographic mode so I can paint without any distortions. And when I do this, I get a line. And now I can control the brush size and rotation and stuff, and I'm just gonna try to paint something which looks nice. But my mouse pad is being a bee, and it's a little bit worn off, I think. So my mouse sometimes just wanders off into random directions, and I don't like it. I'm gonna rotate the brush sideways, rotate the brush the other way, and just, you know, try to make something. I don't know. Now I can bring the base color down. You can always affect the you can always affect the layer anytime you want. So let's see. I'm gonna add some height information inwards like that. So that's just dented in. I think that could look nice. Let's go with that. Okay. But I don't like the brush shape. I gotta find something else. So let's go back into the paint thing and let's put this to black and let's unpaint this. Let's find a good looking brush. How about you, sir? Oh, it's black. How about you, sir? Oh, it feels very hand painted. which is very nice. Oh, I get to increase the hardness as well, so let's increase the hardness by as much as I can. Let's drop the hardness down a little bit. Where's the setting? I gotta see the setting for the hardness. Is that the flow? No. Is that here? The jitter settings? No. Backface culling? Hardness. Let's put this to like 37 or something. Let's put this to 0.6. 0.65. Just find the middle ground. It looks nice. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's try again. Orthographic mode. I'm already in it. And we're painting. We are artists. Oof. Redo. Redo. Oh, it's Control Y in this software. Alright. 0.65 it was. Rotate brush. Like this. It's too wiggly. Rotate brush like this. Whoop. Rotate brush like this. I feel like that's something I can live with, yeah. Oh no, I saved this project again. It's gonna take ages again for it to save. I don't know why it does it this way. I'm tilted. I just lost 5 minutes again because I saved the project. It's a muscle memory thing. When you do something, when you're done with one thing, you automatically save. But at least that gives me time to chat with the chat. So, what do you guys have to say? It's great how much you're progressing. You understand some of Blender, Maya, and Minimator, and that's awesome. You know, okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of a weeb moment here, but has anybody seen Naruto? I'm sure you have. One of my favorite characters in Naruto is Kakashi Sensei. He has a nickname of the copycat ninja because of his Sharingan. He can see a jutsu once and he can just copy it instantly. And I sometimes feel like that myself. Whenever I see something or do something, I'm just like, oh, that's useful, and I just save the information. I have it in my brain now, so I know this stuff. And a good example would be when I was in elementary school, my brother was in high school, and one of his classmates made him an origami paper shuriken, which he can fold in and just, you know, kind of move and the blades just stick out. I was like, oh, that's so cool. So, you know what I did? I kind of took it apart and saw how it was made, and now I know how to do it. I kind of copied the jutsu. And it's just like here as well. I see something, I copy it, oof, that's it. I learned something. I'm picking up on things as I go, and I just add it to the great library of knowledge somewhere in the back of my noggin. And it's great. I'm gonna be almighty by the end of the year. Especially with how much I'm doing this. Or I come across an error in the software, in the project. Oh, how do I fix this? I have no idea. Let's Google this. Let's spend like 30 minutes trying to figure this out. And when I do figure it out, take the knowledge, put it in my noggin. I'm just taking it. I'm just getting smarter every day. And it's great. Fallen. How can you still remember your elementary days? How can you not? It's the happiest parts of your life. I'm still really happy about the tattoo. Look at this. It looks so cool. I'm excited. I didn't used to like it, like when she was done making it. I was like, oh, the colors are too saturated. It doesn't feel okay. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. But now when I look at it, it's kind of grown on me. It kind of looks nice. I like it. Hi, Jaden. Welcome back. Basically, you deconstructed it and learned from it. Yes, and that's what I do with everything. About a week ago, I got a project from a client in Germany. He was like, "Hey, can you do After Effects stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I use After Effects all the time." He's like, "Okay, so I want to become a streamer, and I bought this template, but I don't like the colors and the way it looks. Can you modify it?" And I was like, "Okay, sure. I mean, how much we're talking about? Is this I mean, what exactly do you need? Any extra animations? Just color changes, text, anything fancy? He's like, no, just colors and change the text, please, thank you. So, hi, welcome subscriber. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I'm in the middle of a story though, I'll get back to you. So I made the whole thing, and during that thing, during the project, I realized how alerts are done. It has to be a special file format and stuff. So I was like, okay, what's the dimensions? What's this? What's that? And I learned how to do alerts, which is why we have these custom ones. Whenever somebody clicks subscribe, we have this little custom thing. No longer the default zombie animation, but it's my thing. I've made that. I animated, and now it's in my stream. So yes, welcome subscriber. Hope you have a fun time. I hope you enjoy the content. We're making stuff. Oh, it's done saving. I can go back to my work now. Anybody has anything to say? Once I made a model and it was complete. My laptop crashed and it didn't save it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's muscle memory. I almost saved again. Like I saved with my pinky and my middle finger. I just boop instantly. I almost saved again, rendering the next 5 minutes useless. So okay, we're on the textures front. So let's go back into orthographic mode and let's continue with rotating our brush and painting with it. So that's too curved. I could just do this, you know, just bomb, but that's a little bit too straight. I might do it for some lines if I feel too lazy to draw with my hand. And if my mouse thing, there you go. I do not like the music anymore. Let's change it up, shall we? Let's change it up. This is getting a bit aggressive. Genres, no more hip-hop. Let's go with acoustic. Vocals with no vocals. Okay, what is this? What have I come across? Do I leave this on? I'm gonna leave this on just for the joke. What is this? Same making mech rigs in Blender. Yes, Blender is fun. I should make a Minecraft Transformers rig from Blender or Future. Yes, just use Blender. Blender is fun. No homo is just like that's what she said joke between bros. It's like, if you say something... Okay, it's a joke about toxic masculinity. So you know how guys are not supposed to hug because that's gay. So it's a joke that whenever you say something that could be applied as gay, you say no homo at the end. So I'm not gay because I said it in a bro kind of way, bro. Toxic masculinity. Yes. Is there anything I can do with the patterns here? I don't know what to draw. What is this music, bro? I don't know what to do with this. I'm just gonna add 2 lines here, because why not? I feel like I could do like a similar thing here, like on this part. Undo. Make it a little bit bigger, 0.65. I'm gonna leave this music on. How is this a pirate theme, dude? It's a circus polka German thing. I don't even know what this genre is. It's supposed to be acoustic, but is it really? I don't know. One thing sucks about switching softwares a lot is the controls. Okay, no. No. What is this genre? Okay, let's switch it up. Let's go with jazz. Vocals. What is this music? Who sells this? Somebody is getting paid for having this music on this platform here. How? Anybody can become an artist nowadays. Jesus. No offense if anybody's watching who had something to do with this song, but that was awful. That was horrible. Oh, I increased the flow this way. I get it. Ah. Okay, so flow goes down. This goes like that. Cool. I figured something new out. See, I'm adding to the knowledge. That's cool. So, control left click and dragging up and down rotates the brush. Control left click, dragging left and right increases the flow up here. Control right click, dragging up and down messes with the hardness of the brush, so let's put it back to 0.65. Control right click left and right scales the brush entirely. That's cool. I didn't know that before, but now I do. Oh, oops. Shortcuts. I'm using so many different softwares that I just don't know. I just don't know how to do anything anymore. Oops, that's a bit too long. That's what she said. Ah, I beat you to it. Because in Blender, you move around just by middle clicking, but here you have to hold Alt and left click. So all the shortcuts are just starting to get in the way. Especially with softwares that have a lot of shortcuts to begin with. Like Blender, it has a lot of shortcuts. Blender has a ton of shortcuts, as well as Substance Painter. They both do. And I'm the type of person who always likes to work with shortcuts. Oh, God forbid me from clicking the menu. Why would I click the menu if there's a shortcut on my keyboard that lets me do it faster? Except you forget the shortcut and you just end up clicking 7 times instead of just once. And you take up arguably more time than if you were to just open the menu and do the thing. Doesn't matter. I'm going on a rant. You guys are still talking about the... I'm already 30 seconds in and my brain's already going bunk. Horny jail bunk or just I don't know what's going on bunk? Then we have to switch between middle mouse and left click to move around. Yes, plus you have to hold Alt as well. And you have all these different shortcuts for the brushes, and Blender just uses F for brushes and Shift F for strength, whereas here I have Control and double clicks and the direction of the mouse also matters. It's confusing, man. It's such a great software though. I wish I could quit you. It's great. I can't complain. Honestly, it's a really good software. I'm just overwhelmed with the shortcuts and switching softwares, that's all. It's not the software's fault though. I'll do better. I promise I'll improve. Classic soap opera scenario. Sharp's unhealthy obsession with his software. I do like my software. Otherwise I wouldn't have used it if I didn't like it. Is there anything I can add to this? Like, I've got some basic shapes. What do I do in the center? Do I just make, like, straight lines or something? Like, I don't know what to do with this yet. Huh. I'm thinking. Does anyone have an idea? I need some ideas. You probably have hundreds of shortcuts memorized from different softwares. Yes, and I just get them confused all the time, so it doesn't really help. I don't know what's going on, Bunk. I've never messed with Substance Painter. That's kind of sad, bro. It's really fun and powerful. I'm gonna put the music down a bit. It's getting loud. Cool model. Thank you very much. I'm actually... there's more to it. I have all this stuff. There's all this to it, and now I'm just adding textures. Oh, it looks so much better with added textures. I've never seen the full thing. Oh, I'm happy. I'm really happy. Look at this. I feel like I should also add some of the blue splotches on top of the turret, but it doesn't seem to be the case in the reference, so I'll leave it for now. I might come back to it in the end when I do the final touches. But yeah, lower half, so the ribbons, ribbon. Lower half, I'm back here. What was I doing? This. I need some ideas for what to do with this. That must be laggy. It's a little bit laggy, just a bit, not too much. Substance Painter is laggy, like this software. Blender is like real time. This is just pain. Average League of Legends enjoyer. I don't know what to do. Orthographic mode. So this belt here was completely made up by me. I don't know if that even is in the game, because you can't see it anywhere. So what I planned on doing here is just use a basic soft brush, going from the side view, and paint here. Shift, hold, shift, alt, no, shift, control. Here, just a stripe there. That's it. That's all. That's all I want to add to it. So just a stripe here. I am also gonna go to the other side and just boop, click here, Control Shift, left click there, and that's it. I also want to see something before I go and add more detail, because I still don't know what to do with it, honestly. I'm gonna add a filter, and it's first of all gonna be the warp filter. Boop. And I'm gonna use a procedural texture because those are always linear. I mean, those are tileable, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm gonna use the same, actually black and white spots 3. I think that could look nice. So I'm gonna use this, and it's gonna be warped on the edges there. But I can drop down the intensity to make it less intense. So this is with, without, just add a little bit of rougher edges. I feel like it's worth it. I can increase the balance and stuff and change that. Nope. It looks like it's just using the black and white values. So add another filter, blur slope. This is what usually gives me the hand-painted feel, but this is a bit too much, so I'm gonna probably lower down the intensity a little bit. This somehow gave me a lot of, you know, different shapes here, which is not what I was looking for. So I feel like I could go without the blur slope because this looks pretty good by itself, but I want it there because this is the style that I had so far. So let's go to the source parameters and try to mess with this. Contrast. Oh, that's what it is. Never mind. Source tiling. I know that kind of does an opposite, and the blur goes down. So if I increase this and put the blur down, all I'm gonna get is like bigger splooches, and the intensity kind of controls the offset of the whole thing. So I don't know. What if I put this to 0.12 like this? So it's just enough. It still feels like I haven't done anything, but it's just enough so it kind of feels more hand painted than it did before. So it's not all straight and perfect, but it's kind of, you know, randomized a little bit. I feel like that's the way I want to do this. Let's see the chat. How about some vines, like MC vines that you see? Yeah, I was thinking about that, yeah. But I feel like I should add that in Blender, not on the texture. I'm looking for patterns. I want to make patterns and designs on the turret itself. This still feels kind of empty, right? So I feel like it needs a little something on the middle. I was honestly thinking if I just go back to the paint layer, I'm gonna turn off these so it doesn't lag, but if I go back to my brushes, oh, which one was it now? I forgot. I think it was Kyle's Inkable, this one. Nope. Kyle's Inkable second one. Nope. Kyle's Inkable third one. Yeah, that's the one. Orthographic, snap to side view, drop it down. Whoop, rotate it around, flow 100. I was thinking to just do this, but that's honestly gonna look kind of crappy, so I don't know if I want to do this. Like, just have 3 lines. I'm not feeling this, so not this. Sharp, can you recap what this is? I forgot. This is a League of Legends turret that I'm making. I'm making a time-lapse right now. I'm recording the screen as well. This is gonna be part of the time-lapse. More silver coating, like blue stuff you see on the texture, or dark blue. More silver coating. Yeah, but it needs some shape still. I feel like those two big sideways things, those could have a lot of silver coating. So I'm gonna make a new layer for this. So the patterns here, I feel like I could replicate what I did in the front as well, also in the back. So if I put the hardness back to 0.65, I'm gonna do this for now. So this, rotate around the other way. Just, I feel like these are too large. I don't know why I'm making these noises. Leave me be. I'm enjoying myself. That's what matters. Just this one. Just draw. That was a straight line. You see that? I am on fire. Now drop this down to the corner. Symmetry kind of looks nice. All right. So let's just replicate what we had before. And I feel like I'm definitely going with the blue coating thing you said. This one kind of sucks because it's a very directional brush. It's not directional, so it's kind of stationary. But the angle here is twisted, so I gotta adjust the brush with every stroke that I do. So it doesn't get weird patterns like this. Like this. Like this. I just got quiet because I was focusing. There we go. So we kind of mimic this all around. It kind of feels a little bit better now with the added stuff because, you know, details are nice. Oh, lots of chat. Tiny shards of gems. Nah, that's too far from the source material. I'm not adding that. I'm gonna add the blue coating now. I'm watching this, yet I don't know anything because I'm a 2D guy. Well, sucks to be you. People been ignoring me. That's... How am I supposed to reply to most of your stuff? Like, a conversation usually goes in a direction where you give me something to respond to. I don't know how to respond with you not understanding anything. Like, what am I supposed to say? Sucks to be you, bro. Like, this is where my conversational skills stop. I don't know what to add to this. Okay, patterns. Let's add the blue coating. So... blue coating. Let's see, the patterns, they had a roughness of 8.7 and they also had height. The blue coating, I'm not gonna paint the height or normal info at all. I'm just gonna paint the roughness, which is gonna be slightly lower than the intrusions, slightly lower. And the blue coating is gonna have to have a color. So first of all, I'm gonna add a black mask and add a paint layer to it. And first of all, just, you know, paint something here so I can see it. Now, I'm gonna try to pick the color, so... boop. Maybe make it a little bit more dark blue. A little bit more... like this, huh? You think this fits? Even after I'm done painting the mask, I can always just go back. So, it doesn't really matter too much. But I feel like I could try something here. I could go into the paint mode. And really just increase the brush, right? And put the hardness down to like 0.4 or something. And maybe if I do this, right? So it's a little bit more softer on the edge. So it's got like a little soft edge there, like this. Huh? What do you think? I don't know if that's good or not. I'm just genuinely asking for feedback here. Because, again, I don't know everything. Like this, and just add that all around. If it doesn't look good, I can always just, you know, go back and do something else. But the edges are completely filled in, and the inner parts are kind of, have a little bit of a gradient going on. So, if I do this... I'm experimenting, I'm playing with stuff. Oh, this kind of swayed too far away from the thing. Yes. it makes, what I'm saying makes sense in my head. It's hard to provide context. I'm kind of just really focusing on this line. Get this line right. If I do this, and now rotate the brush. I'm getting used to the controls again. And then I'm gonna use Blender for a week or so, and I'll just completely forget all about it. And I feel like this thing... Okay, first of all, let's put this to black so I can erase this brush. But I feel like I could have like a dot here or something. It's not too bad. Actually, I like this outline thing. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use more of this. This is great. Thank you, dude. This is great. Who modeled this? I modeled this. I made everything. This is all made completely from scratch. Woo! Never use Substance Painter. I recommend it if you go into it. If you want to go into Substance Painter, if you want to go into 3D in general. Yes. Okay, I'll add the improvements later. I'll just do the rough lines now. Because I feel like that's what all art is just a series of iterations. You never do something completely, like, from the start to finish. You always... just like the analogy with the 3D printer that I used before. It's always there. You always just, you know, add something and then go back to refine it and then go back again and refine it further. I feel like every single process that involves art, and even not art, like even in the industry, like on a production pipeline for milk cartons or something, every single production line always has these iterations where you just have to constantly go back and refine and back and refine. I feel like that's how things are usually made well, when you go back and refine them several times. Yo, somebody clipped me on that. That was like big brain, wise SharpWind moment. I also feel like I could add a little bit of... Okay, the patterns could go over this. And I feel like I could add the same blue coating on the inside of the upper turret. Some moss. Yeah, I'm gonna add moss. But I'm gonna add moss on top. Say this turret is located in a rainy forest or something. And there's constantly water dropping on top of it. So the top faces and the top is where the moss is gonna be. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add moss in places where it makes sense. There. Just keep your materials in mind. Adding this blue outline is sort of like a bold move, but I like it. Like, it paid off. Especially because I have such a soft brush, it doesn't really matter if I'm being too accurate or not, because you can't really tell, because it's a soft brush. Oh, well, you're gonna be able to tell there. I'm gonna go back and delete that, don't worry. I don't have to be careful on one side, but I do have to be careful on the other. Okay, so I'm gonna add first all of the details with this brush. Like all of the stuff that I have to do with this brush. And then I'm gonna change the brush to save myself the struggle from changing brushes all the time. I find myself tilting my head a lot when I do these things. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. Should I add a middle stripe as well? Nah, maybe. I feel like it's a little bit too much here on the top. What do you guys think? Looks good with the outlines, yeah it does. But I feel like here on top it feels a bit too much because of the dark thing. It's not soft and gradual like it is on the bottom. It's kind of really hard and aggressive, you know what I mean? So maybe I'm going to throw this away. Okay, let's make an experiment. If I do this, just erase one half. This is without. Yeah, this is what it looks like without. This is with. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. I'm going to completely remove this, but I'm gonna implement it in a different way. I am missing the blue. The blue looks nice, and I want some of that blue on my model. However, not on the outlines, but I feel like I'm gonna add it on the inside here. And I'm gonna decrease the hardness even more, so it's really soft. And I'm gonna drop down the opacity. The stroke opacity is gonna be like 50% or something, and I'm gonna increase the size, so it's a little bit more obvious. Let's see what it looks like this. Is that... have I... oh, it's dark. I gotta put it on to white. So, this. Yeah, I feel like that works. One problem though, just because I set it on opacity, it's kind of, you know, it's being painted twice where it overlaps. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna add a new layer to this. Yes, I know. Just, I have so many layers, but I feel like I need another one. There's never too many layers. Okay, does it look better with the dot or without the dot? I think it looks slightly better with the dot. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit too intense though. So let's drop down the opacity. Drop it down even more. Raise the brush, decrease the hardness. So it's just tinted. It's not obvious that it's a dot there, but it's just tint. I think it makes it look a little more interesting. There. Let's not be too picky, alright? Let's add a new layer. Actually, let's duplicate the blue coating. Blue coating top. And I am going to add a black mask. So I completely erased everything that I've done so far and add a paint layer, which is now only going to be used to paint this. So now what the difference is I get to find like a really soft brush. That's fur, right? Nope. Don't want that. A really, really soft brush. Where can I find a soft brush? Because this soft brush... I got an idea. I could just use the basic soft brush like this and just erase the outlines. That's what I'll do. What are you gonna do with that statue thingy? I'm gonna use it as, like, in my next video. I'm making my next YouTube video right now. I'm just streaming the progress because it's taking really long. I'm making a wallpaper with this stuff, and the video is pretty much gonna be like how I made it, the progress of that. It's not a tutorial. I'm not gonna explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it, but it's gonna be like, hey guys, I wanted to make a turret, so first of all I did this, and then I did this, and I had problems with this, and then I went back and did this, and it's just gonna play clips of me working on it, and in the end it's gonna show the final product. So it is like a tutorial, but it's very quickly paced, because if I were to make a tutorial on it, it would be a really long tutorial, and it would take a lot of time for me to get it done. Can I decrease the hardness even more than it already is? I feel like this is still too soft. This though, let's go with this again. Okay, so the reason I did it this way, hardness 0. The reason I did it this way is because now there is no overlap, right? Because this is 100% opaque. There's 100% opacity on this layer, so even if I paint over something twice... Hey, hold on, is the opacity down? No, it's not. I guess I just mess with the flow too much. Even if I paint over something multiple times, it's still gonna be equally bright, equally opaque, equally everything, and then I can just drop the opacity of the entire layer down, and that's when I get my end result. So this is too much, I know, but I'll drop it down later and it's gonna be fine. Another clip. This looks nicer now. Yes! Yes, it does. Anything new? Nope. Nothing new. Are you actually clipping my big brain moments here? Let's make a montage. SharpWind having a big wrinkly brain. Okay, let's do this. So this is the second one. Ah, it's saving again. Gosh darn it! Now I have to wait for 5 minutes because for some reason the software's gotten so slow over the years. That's one of my problems with it. I don't know why, but it just takes forever. Literally. But it's a good thing that it does save, because if it didn't save, I'm losing if it crashes, I lose a lot of progress, and that's obviously not fine. So here I am, just on a little timeout. My computer put me on a timeout. He says, you're working too much, you need a break. Muscle memory. No, I didn't save, it's autosave. It wasn't me this time. Because it has like an autosave feature that saves every 10 minutes or so. Or 15, or I don't know how long it is, because I haven't opened up the settings yet. SharpWind, how are you so good with 3D animation? First of all, thank you very much. Second of all, it's just practice. Like, I've been doing this for a really long time now, and the more you do something, it just sticks with you, right? Because brain is all about repetition. How much time did it take you to get better? Considering that I made my first animation in 2009, it's almost been 13 years since I've made my first animation. Granted, though, it was 2D animation using Pivot Animator and stuff. So I can't say I have experience in 3D animation for all this for 13 years. And when I started 3D animation in 2012 with my animator is not the same as other 3D softwares. It doesn't have materials, it doesn't have realistic lighting, it doesn't have PBR shading and stuff like that. So most of the things that you have to learn in 3D animation, so I'm mostly talking about lighting and material, do not behave the same way in my animator as they do in actual 3D software. So I can't really say that I have experience in 3D animation with materials and stuff since I started my animator, because that's not really what I was doing. But I've started using Maya in the 4th year of high school, which now is 5 years ago. So I guess I've been properly, in quotation marks, properly doing 3D animation for 5 years. Yes. I've been doing it since 2009, but properly doing this sort of stuff, 5 years. Still saving. My cursor is still the blue circle thing. I hate you. God damn it. Let me work. Yeah, but 5 years is not that much still. Like, I've had 5 years to work on my stuff. I could have been way better than I am right now. I don't feel like I'm as good as I could be. I feel like I've had a really slow learning curve. Mostly because I was afraid of stepping out of my comfort zone. I mostly just did the things that I was comfortable with. So I spent a lot of time in my animator instead of, you know, devoting more time to this, which is actually going to be my future in the 3D industry. And even now, this is one of the first things that I'm doing, which is stepping out of my comfort zone. I've never done a stylized thing, especially not on such a large scale, like a full turret with all the details and stuff. Is it saved now? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I want to finish the story first. Yeah, I'm kind of stepping out of my comfort zone here. It started with the Discord server icons when I said, hey, I'm gonna make something inspired by League of Legends, and I just opened up reference and I made icons from it. I showed that at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and this is how you generally learn stuff, by stepping out of your comfort zone. If you don't step out of the comfort zone, you're never gonna get better, because you're always stuck doing the same things. And I know it's scary. I know it's really scary to step out of the comfort zone, because it's still scary for me. I'm not sure if this is gonna turn out well. What I'm doing right now, I'm actually pretty anxious about the end result, believe it or not. I'm just slowly trying to improve it, however I think it's gonna look nice. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not, but I'm not thinking about it too much right now. I'm just doing it, because if it turns out bad, then heck, it turned out bad. What can you do? It's not the end of the world, right? You have to make bad stuff if you want to make good stuff at some point. So just don't think about it too much. Work. Just create. Just do it. Pretty much. Nike, the Nike logo, the Nike thing had it down. Just do it. Don't think. Just do it. That's probably the best tip I can give to anybody, honestly. Just step out of your comfort zone. Like, I have this dream of making a CG character, but CG humans are one of the worst things you can possibly do. Because as humans, our brains have developed to recognize faces and stuff. So if there was something wrong with my face right here, you would know instantly something is wrong, right? And 3D animation is... The problem is because you have to do it. As soon as an artist does something, there's interpretation involved. I'm gonna do this the wrong way. Artists make mistakes all the time. So if you create a face, you mess up the proportions slightly, but it's gonna be noticeable. People are gonna see it. That's the problem. And I am scared of starting my own CG character. But funny story, when I made the tattoo, I'm gonna show it again. This is now 4 days old, so it's pretty new. It's pretty recent. So when I still had the protective foil on top of it, I also wrapped it around in bandages because I didn't want to ruin the foil. I didn't have to do that. Like, I didn't need bandages, but I was like, oh, I really don't want to ruin this. Let me put some bandages on it so it's kind of, you know, stationary. So I walked by the mirror and next to the bathroom, and I was like, whoa, yo, this looks like some cool medieval character concept. I took a reference photo, and now that's one of my plans for the future YouTube video. I'm gonna make a 3D character, my first ever 3D character, based off a reference of me with bandages on my arm. I'm gonna make it look like medieval and stuff. I have a scene planned on how I'm gonna animate the camera and the environment and stuff. So just plan. It's a huge project, don't get me wrong. Like, it's probably gonna take me weeks to make the character. It's really scary because you can't mess anything up, otherwise it looks wrong, it looks bad, right? So it is scary. It's really scary, honestly. I don't know if I'm comfortable with, you know, starting it, but that's the point. That's why I should start it, because it's obviously gonna be bad. If I don't know what I'm doing, it's obviously gonna turn out like crap. But if you don't do it, you're not going to improve. So you should do it. You should make the garbage. And that should not stop you from making more garbage. Just continue making garbage. Make garbage all the time, and at some point you're gonna slowly stop making garbage and you're slowly gonna start making things that look nice. And that's how you usually improve in things. Honestly, I'm trying to make a good cartoon character similar to DreamWorks' film, but I keep messing up with the eyes. That's the point. Keep on messing up. Listen to me. Keep on messing up and try to find what is wrong with it. Like, try to find, why did I mess up? Let's take some DreamWorks reference photos, put them side by side, and like, oh, okay, I can see the DreamWorks eyes, they actually curve upwards faster than mine. Mine are too square, so I guess I should sort of pull this muscle up next time I'm doing this. Try to identify what is wrong with your model, but keep on making garbage. The more you make garbage, the more you'll practice and improve. Just put it side by side, kind of locate the problems, and then implement that in your next work. It's iteration. It's the same way that AI is being trained. You have two AIs. One of them makes the fake thing, and the other one tries to spot the fake thing. If this one spots it, this one's like, oh, it wasn't good enough, I have to improve, so it does something differently. And if this one doesn't spot it, it's like, oh, I did something well, now I can, you know, use this in the future. And if this one, you know, doesn't spot it, he's like, oh, I didn't spot it, I have to improve on trying to look for it. So improvement usually comes from locating what you did wrong and continue trying and improving based on what you think you did wrong. So it's like a feedback loop, right? You make something and try to identify what's wrong with it. Oh, now I just jumped into the software. This looks kind of nice. I think I'm done with this. What do you guys think? I think I'm done with the base. Is there anything I should add? Is there anything missing that could look nice? Vines and moss, that's gonna come on top, right? Not yet. Anything I'm missing here? Guys, I'm waiting for your feedback here. I'm gonna wait for a little while so I don't cover it up with the Streamlabs overlay. What do you think I should add to this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's check the chat. What do you guys think? Nothing yet. Are you making animation or game animation? Don't spam though, I can see the comments. It takes me a while to open this, but yes. It's looking good. You, I don't know what your name is, please stop spamming. I'll see the comments, just takes me a little while. I don't know, it looks detailed. So, okay, I'm gonna take that. This is what I have done so far. I think at the end, towards the end of this, I am going to go back to the base and add some of this blue cyan tint on top of it to make it blend better. But as far as I'm concerned, I can move on to the top half of the turret. Look at it. Look at it. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. And also, I have to pee. I've drank a lot of water. So, I'm going to be right back. Thank you, guys. Just give me a second. Homies, pals, I am back. Let me put the headphones on. And boom! Nice, I love the overlays. Work like a charm, perfect. Alright, what do we have here? What can we do with this one? So, let's take a look at the reference. I don't see this bottom thing, but I want to add those top lines and this little gold bit on the top. Do all of them have it? Yes, they do. Cool, cool. I'm staying true to the source material. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do. So I think I'm gonna add these lines here. Just going down like that. This little pointy arrow here. And on the sides here, I think I'm gonna add like a arrow pointed upwards in the other direction. So I have these diagonal lines in form. I feel like that's gonna sell it well. I also feel like this is going to be like the gold plate, the same color as this little pointy thing down here. And which one did I take reference from for this one? I don't think this should be sticking out. I think I messed up when I made that. I cannot find it on anyone. I think I thought this was the shoulder thing, like the shoulders. Oh, what's with the ambient occlusion map? Oh no. Accessories? Oh, okay. Okay, it's accessories. I thought something got horribly messed up. I feel like these accessories here, like these plates, I thought that was part of the main model, because it's been a while since I made that. I think that's what I messed up. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna adapt my textures to it. Yeah, please speak English in the chat. Yes. So everybody can understand. It can be a really fun and wholesome moment and stuff. Yes. Let's see. So I have the base and the splooches. There's also the blue coating and more of the blue coating. I feel like I'm gonna borrow that still. There's patterns. I don't know what that is. That's okay. The patterns I have to draw my own, and the blue is just the splooches on top. So I'm gonna copy these two. I think you can copy in between different texture islands. Go into my top half layer and then paste them in. Yes, it does work. So I have my base color in here, so it kind of matches the same thing. But now the first thing I want to do is I want to add some moss, right? Because someone said moss. I think it could be a great addition. I'm gonna add a fill layer, call it moss. I also, yeah, I do need a metallic map for this. Okay, so the base is not gonna paint metallic. The splooches are also not gonna paint metallic. Cool. Moss, it's not metallic. I'm gonna paint the normal height, roughness, and color. I need all four. So the roughness of the moss. How rough is moss? It's not rough. Let's put it up to 8 or something. Moss is like really soft. Like it doesn't reflect. It just really diffuses. Color. I'll tackle this at the end. Let's make a black mask. Height, I'll also do that a bit later. So let's add a generator to this moss. Generator is gonna be ambient occlusion. So now it's gonna be generating this around my ambient occlusion. If I make this red, it seems to have been doing something wrong. Let's take a look. Balance. So this is the opposite, right? If I go the other way, so this is the opposite of ambient occlusion. Invert. Yes. And now if I increase the balance, it's just going to generate around the ambient occlusion. That's great. That's what I needed. So this is where the moss is going to be generating. I feel like the balance could also be brought up a little bit more, so it's not too mossy, too covered in moss. I think this is okay. Excuse me. I also want to add a texture. Use a texture, and let's go for something procedural, so it's tileable, so it doesn't have any seams in between there. And let's find something that looks like moss. I could honestly probably make something myself, but that's going to take a lot of time. Does this look like moss? Spots. Gaussian noise. I feel like this could look like moss. We're just finding something. This is definitely not moss. Fingerprints. No, 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 no. Leaf. Leak dirty. No, that's not moss. It looks not right. I know the words I'm looking for, but it's hard to translate and talk at the same time. No. So this is like something which is very oily, like greasy. That's the word I was looking for. Maybe this could work like a moss. Like, I know it's a smudgy white, but I think this could pass as moss. So let's use this as a texture, and the texture opacity can be brought upwards. I feel like that's already giving it the details here, and it's kind of narrowing it down even more, just like I want it to. So let's try to mess with the contrast here. And the brightness. More contrast. More brightness. More contrast. Okay. So it kind of has a texture. That's mostly what I wanted. And now the ambient occlusion, I can also just increase the contrast and balance here if I want to, you know, do anything with this. Contrast, balance, just raise it up, get the shape you want. I think this is fine. I'm not going to be too picky. Now let's pick a moss color, something like this, like really desaturated, like this. I feel like it could, yeah, towards the yellow, more towards the yellow. I think, yeah, it feels like moss. So if I add all the shoulder stuff now, it's barely even visible. Great. Maybe I should increase the range on this. So let's bring everything in. I want to see what this looks like with the full model. So you can barely tell any of the moss is there, right? So I think I should increase the moss, like the radius and the balance and stuff. So if I bring the balance down like so. Yeah. Just enough so it's showing a little bit, so it doesn't feel like it's too covered in moss. But when you look at it, you're like, yes, I can see that. Also, I think we could add another generator. Crazy. We're getting crazy right now. We're adding 2 generators. Hi, welcome, Sammy. How have things been? Things have been very well. As you see, I'm being creative. I'm doing what I like. Look at this. It looks nice. I'm happy. Let's see. It's not armor. I draw animators on the models too. I like modeling, but I'm not an expert. That's fine. You don't have to be. If you like it, just do it. It's fine. You'll get better naturally, right? Just don't worry about the level you're on. Just try to improve. If it looks bad, it looks bad. What can you do? I feel like everybody here, including myself, is just too afraid of failure. There's nothing wrong with failing. Like, if you fail, it's nothing but an opportunity to try again. You try again with the new knowledge. You're smarter, you're wiser. World space. Is that it? World space normals. Yes. This is the one that I want, and I'm gonna... Can I? Surely I can. Hold on. Let me try doing this. And just use a triplanar projection. I think I'm onto something, boys. Something really great. So below all this, I should have the contrast and balance settings, right? So I get some texture in here, and then I add a fill to this, and the fill can be whatever I want, like a really dark, desaturated, greenish thing, like the moss here. And it should have the details in? No? No? Is that not it? I thought I was in for a big brain move. Oh, so this just ignores the mask. Oh, okay, fine. I was gonna have like color with multiple different colors. So it's not just one shade of green, but it's multiple shades of green. Never mind. Oh, I've lost my base color now. Cool, I have to relocate it. Buh. Okay, so the world thing messed it up. Let's see. It was somewhere down here and it was somewhere towards yellow. This is a funky song. I like it. I feel like this is it. I was gonna have multiple shades though. Sucks that I can't do that, but it's fine. Okay, world space normal. What is that? World space normal. Let's take a look at. I think it's that. No, that's just the normal map. What is the world? Where is the world space normals? There it is. It's gonna take a while to compute the map. Please don't crash. I haven't saved in a while. Oh no, it's not responsive. Okay, whew, it's fine. World space normal. What is that? So you can see a pattern here. Orthographic view. If I rotate it sideways, you can see this side is completely red. If I rotate it here, this side is completely blue. If I rotate it here, this side is completely green. This side is completely yellow. The top is completely light green, and the bottom is completely magenta. What world space normal maps do is they pretty much... I'm stuck inside the model. World space normal maps pretty much... It's all the orientation of the faces. So the faces that point upwards have this color. The faces that point sideways have this color. So each 6 directions have an assigned color. And based on the angle in between them, the color kind of bleeds. And because of that color, I can use that to generate effects only on the faces that are turned upwards or faces that are turned either direction. So I can use this to generate the, you know, moss on the top faces and not on any of the sideways faces. Also, one thing you might have noticed is there's a hole in his head. That's because I forgot to fill that in. I'll do it later in Blender. It's fine. I think I can salvage it. It's cool. Now, let's see what I can do with this. World space normal. First of all, balance contrast. Let's add some contrast here. So this is where it is. Let's decrease the balance. Oh, increase the balance. So it's a little bit less. And now decrease the contrast so it's a little smoother. If I do this, I think it looks kind of nice. Decrease it even more. Cool. I've got myself the base for moss. This is great. Like, maps are so amazing. You get to do so much with them. I feel like this is okay. Now I just need a texture to, you know, make this more mossy. I'm gonna use the same grunge as wipe so it's uniform on the whole model. And texture opacity is gonna go up, and of course I'm gonna subtract because I don't want an enormous amount of moss. Let's see, texture contrast first of all. Brightness. If I put this down, it's all gonna be visible. If I put this up, it's all gonna be invisible. Okay, scale. This is now really small or something. I'm trying to see where the thing is. Sharp here using Blender while I'm using Adobe. Chris, you've said that like 5 times now. The stream's getting blurry. Oh no, bad connection. Basically, it makes things look cool and realistic without adding more detail to the model itself. It's a good optimization. What is? Color palette. Oh, D&D miniature figures. May I eat the moss? Yes, you can eat the moss. I think it's edible. I think you're not gonna die from eating moss. Oh, don't take me by the word for it. I won't be responsible if anybody does that. You should not eat it if you're not sure. And I'm not sure, so don't take my word for it. Again, I won't be responsible. What if, instead of this texture, I add Perlin noise? Yes! Yes! That's what I wanted! So it's like big splats. Decrease the contrast a bit. Increase the brightness. That's gonna do it like that. And this just puts some moss on my character. Wow! I feel like I need some micro details too, though. I think that should be a texture for it. No, not on this map. Noise parameters. Oh, scale disorder. I think that's cool. Disorder. I feel like I need tinier details here. I feel like it's not enough. Okay, so 0.5 is the best thing. Maybe a little bit more if I want more moss. I need tinier details. And I don't know how to achieve that. Triplanar, of course. Subtract, average, invert. That doesn't really change much. Global contrast, parameters, global invert, no. Attributes, seed. Scale, disorder, word space, normals, and position gradients. Yeah, that all makes sense. Can I add another fill? And this fill is gonna use types of grunges, like marble veins? Yeah, sure. Let's just do it. Like this. Yes! Ah, that's so cool. So if I decrease that, it's all going away. If I increase that, it's all like that. Noise parameters, disorder. Now we're getting it. Marbling. Yes! That's what I wanted. But of course, I don't want it on the bottom half, which I think the most reasonable... It's not reasonable, but the thing that I'm most comfortable with is I'm just gonna paint it out. Now, I think I need to remove everything else. Ribbons, shoulders, staff, top half. Okay. I feel like I want to paint that out manually, just because I'm... Perspective mode. Okay. You, sir. Orthographic mode. Okay, cool. Now, what I want to do is go to paintbrush, go to paint brushes, basic soft, increase this. Actually, no. I want this one because it's much softer, and I can increase it like this, turn the brush black, and just paint away all the moss that I don't want on the bottom. I feel like such a pro right now. Because this texturing thing is just such a pro move. Like, I did a really great thing on that. Come on. You gotta admit. You gotta admit that this is something that I did really well. Just like that. Boop, boop. And some splotches here as well, because this is a seam and I don't want this to be visible, so just paint around it. It's that simple. You can hide all the imperfections. Just paint, make the transition smooth instead of sharp. Also, this one, it should end sooner because it looks like it's going into nothing. Just like that, huh? Simple. I feel like it's a little bit too much. I thought the textures got really messed up there for a second. It looks like it's just like, blah. I like the fact that there's still a lot of detail, but at the same time, it still feels very stylized because of the marble texture, right? It's not like there's thousands of shades of green in this. It's just one shade, but it's just blended over these complex shapes that it still feels stylized. So you do have complexity as well as simplicity, and it's like a perfect balance of both. Look at this. I like it. I feel like I can remove some of this as well. Ooh, this is a big splotch here. Wanna keep them like thin and elegant. Look at this! Bro! I'm happy. Now, of course, I need to add this golden thing. I don't know how to implement it up here, though, because I know it has to be down below. I might make this inner circle also be like that. It looks badass. Woo! It basically adds certain details without making the model heavier or making the textures heavier. The textures are what they are. The textures cannot be heavy or non-heavy. The resolution is usually what makes it heavy. Because the resolution, the bigger it is, the more pixels, the more information you have to store on your RAM. So, yeah. Okay. I need the gold now. I feel like I'm done with the moss. So, let's hop into perspective mode. And, gold, Marcia, gold! Fill layer. Yes. I'm gonna call it gold, and I'm gonna put this above splooches but below the moss, because moss should still technically be affecting it. So black mask, and now this fill layer is gonna have a little bit of height. Ooh, I didn't add height to the moss. I was supposed to do that. Good thing I remembered. Height adds some height, so it feels like the moss is actually on top of it. So this is without any height, this is with height, so it feels like there's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of height thing going on. Bwah. Now, back to my gold. First of all, okay, I'm gonna add a quick paint thing, just so I can see what I'm doing, what it looks like. So, if I draw a shape here, the opacity can go up. So this is what I'm painting. And this is how I'm affecting it. So the metallicness is gonna be 1. So this is like a metal thing, right? And roughness, I don't exactly know how much I want. So if I put this to 1, it's obviously gonna be completely shiny. But this doesn't feel very shiny. So if I increase that, does it still feel like metal? Of course it doesn't. So like 0.45 or something. I feel like this is okay, because it is still reflective like iron should be, but at the same time it doesn't feel too much. If I increase it all the way up though, like, no. I'm trying to find a threshold where it still feels like iron, but it's not too reflective, because this feels very matte, right? It's gonna be saving. Okay, I might as well save myself. I'm saving. I'm on a break because the software is saving. What are you guys talking about? Let's see. I still feel like having small patches where more moss grew is so cool. I guess, yeah. But it's a thing of a preference. It's not even going to be visible because it's only going to be shown from the front. I'm putting way too much thought into detail again. I'm thinking about resolution. More resolution equals more possible detail. Yes. Moss on base will look more realistic. On base, yeah, fair, because it's on the ground, and yeah. I will probably do that at the end as well. Sorry for being kind of dumb with explaining it. No, that's perfect, actually. If you dumb something down, it makes you better at explaining stuff. What is a good sign of a good teacher is if you're able to take something which is complicated and explain it in a very simple way that somebody else that doesn't know all this stuff is still going to understand. That's a trait of a good teacher. So if you're able to dumb things down for others and make them understand through their language, it makes you smarter as a person. And I think it's something I've picked up over the years of making tutorials and stuff, because I usually know what kind of questions people ask me, and then I know in what way I have to explain this to make them understand without having to ask extra questions. SharpWind, what are your thoughts on tax fraud? I think it's cool. Tax fraud, I mean, is illegal, right? Let's be fair. In a way, it is kind of cool if your government is being completely irresponsible and stuff, because that money is probably not gonna go to good use. But at the same time, it's illegal, so I'm not saying I encourage it in any way. I mean, it is illegal after all. It's an interesting concept, though. Like, I fooled the government into having me spare some of my money, but I don't know. I am legally obliged to specify that the last comment is a joke. Yes, exactly. We're in dangerous territory here. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 6 minutes now. Let's go. I love your Divided song series. Oof, you've gone way back. That's old as heck. That's when my channel started to blow up. Divided was the reason why my channel is where it is right now. I'm not saying I'm famous, but 22,000 subscribers is not that little at the grand scheme of things. I am legally obliged to say that I have not condoned or have not committed tax fraud at any point in time. Doing illegal things is cool, kind of. Nah. That's a very gray area, because when someone says that doing illegal things is cool, it falls into that, you know, edgy thing. I used to do a lot of I can't say illegal things, but I used to try and being edgy and cool and stuff, and used to smoke and stuff, because ooh, that's cool. But it's not really cool. Like, when you grow up, you realize that you were just being dumb. I was being dumb when I was doing stuff like that. Can you make more? Divided is over, bro. Sorry. I'm doing this now. Like, I'll make more serious. I can't show you because it's still saving. I'll do more serious, just probably not Divided. I have a bunch of stuff in mind, but those are far in the future because they take a lot of preparations. YouTube still randomly decides to recommend me watching Divided multiple times in the same feed. Sharpen, how you make the goldy thing? Yes, I'm gonna make it with textures. This is where I am right now. I think I've got this done. Now let's pick the base color. So if I do something like this, I pick the color and it's the same. Maybe I'll brighten it up, maybe make it more saturated because I'm adapting art to my taste. And look at it, I think we got a pretty good gold material here. It's even being covered by the moss, like the gold was there first and the moss came afterwards, so it's realistic still. And as far as the mask goes, paint, I think this tool, polygon fill tool, I get to fill individual polygons. So if I do this, I kind of get to click on it. I just have one question. If I do this, does it go through the model? Of course it does. I can't afford to do that. So, orthographic view. Let's try being very careful with this. I'm painting in the gold. So I'm just, yeah, trying to stay out of the other faces. I just want to paint the extruded part. And I feel like this should be all. So now if I do this, this is the only thing which is painted. Cool. Go back to my paint mode, and this is what it is. I've made one gold thing. I'll probably draw some shapes on it as well, definitely. And I feel like this thing, I have to do something about this now. Obviously, Mr. Big Brain, woo. Put this to black. Erase it. Paint. Erase it. Ah, I have to be on the paint layer. I didn't know that. So just erase this gold. I don't want this gold. Welcome back. Can I make a monster school animation, but an actually good one? I was thinking about that. I wanted to do it, but I don't know. I've made the start, but I was like, nah. I just lost motivation. It's not something I want to do. This is something I really have motivation for. This is honestly something that I want to do, and probably because I want to do it, I'm gonna be that much more eager to finish it. So that's a good thing. Chalk bold. What is this? I have to put it to white. Whop. Okay, I guess I could try doing with it. So, ooh, another use for the freaking, what is it called? polygonal fill tool. Let me fill the inside of this, huh? I feel like that could also look pretty nice. Okay, so like this, like this. I feel like it should be symmetrical on both ends. But if it's not, I can always just go back and, you know, fix a bunch of stuff. Again, I'm improvising this. I don't know where I should put details, where I should put anything. I'm just going along with what I think would look nice. I'm kind of just winging it. So, if I do this, this should be all. And if I go around the model, yep, I have left some of these out. This is just moss, okay. Okay, so let's go back into the polygon fill tool and just manually click the ones, because if I drag the box now, it's gonna be applied to the other side as well, and I don't want that. So I have to manually click. Is this? Yes. Yes, I'll also pick those. And this one as well. Why is it not selected by default? Boop. Boop, boop. Like this. Most of the work is actually kind of slow and taxing, not tasking. Because when you see the YouTube video at the end, you see the end result, and that's it. You don't see all the hours of grind that went into actually detailing the thing. So I'm live streaming here to, you know, to bring this a bit closer. So let's try to draw something here. Come on. I've been aching to make this. Just, it's gonna be very hand-painted. You can tell. But I think it's still gonna look pretty nice, because it's got, you know, it's got the artist's hand in the design. So it's gonna be like this, it's gonna be like that. Blop. And now I can just color in the details. And I'll make a new layer for all the, you know, extrusions and stuff. It doesn't look that bad either, honestly. Look. It looks like a badge of honor. I'm gonna make a new layer for the height displacement, and it's gonna be a black fill layer. And then I can add all the details in. I love your stream, no homo. Thank you very much. I enjoy your company. I started watching him 2 weeks ago. Nice. Welcome aboard. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're, you know, enjoying the content, all the good stuff. I certainly am, especially now with the newer changes that I've made. I used to make a shit ton of edgy jokes, but that humor really isn't my sort of thing anymore. Still have a dark sense of humor, but no longer something like, haha, someone said the N-word funny. My take on dark humor is, I'd say very interesting, but I think it's casual. So, my approach is like this. Dark humor, such as racist jokes and stuff, are hilarious. Racism itself is not. So, racism itself is awful. It was a horrible thing, but racist humor, that's hilarious. I'm on board with that. I sometimes wish that Slovenians and, you know, my people, we had more offensive humor, more offensive something. I don't want bad things to happen to us to justify the humor, but I wish we had something, just something super offensive that I could joke about, because I would joke on my expense all the time, because people say, oh, you're so insensitive and racist. I would joke about myself too if I could. We just have nothing good to joke about. Yes, that was a tangent. I also think I should give this the gold treatment. I'm gonna do this. And I am aware that I'm painting on the back side of the head as well. And I do not care. I think this is faster. And I'll just remove it later with a different angle. I feel like that's going to be easier. I feel like that's going to be easier than try to be super careful with this now. I mean, faster. Easier and faster. Let's do this. If you can't tell, I'm hyped. This is, I like what I'm creating. This is a passion project, and I get to have YouTube content as well. When I was doing my animator, here's something I want to lay off my chest. When I was doing my animator, a lot of the times, what I was doing did not come from passion. It was like, oh, I've started this, so now I gotta do this, right? But now that I've switched over to Blender, I'm like, you know what? I have a passion project, something I genuinely want to work on. I might as well record it for YouTube, right? Because I can do that now. I'm a Blender channel. So it's great. I actually get to do what I like now. And it doesn't feel like a chore because it's something I genuinely wanted to do to begin with. So I'm overall happy. Okay, I think this is all. And now I gotta clean up this mess. So if I put this to 0, boop, just put this back to 1. What are you... Oh, they're sharing parts of the UV. I thought I increased the UV island range. I am mad now. The software's making fun of me. Blender, yo. I thought I told you to create margins. Okay, I gotta be careful with this part of the head because I don't want to accidentally erase this or the bottom. But it looks like it did a good job, so whoop, just remove these. And I'll just go back in and make sure that I haven't missed faces like this one, and I'll just manually add those. I still feel like that's faster than if I were to just add one by one really carefully. Just fill all of them and then clean up the ones that are too much, instead of going the other way around. I like the jazz music in the background. It's kind of chill, you know? Epidemic sound is so great. Just the whole thing, when I started making Blender content, right? It's taken me longer to make content because Blender is more difficult and the products usually take more time. Plus, I picked the style, a format of video which really takes a lot of effort. So I don't make content as much, but I'm paying for the Epidemic Sound license anyway. So, oof, I gotta make some content so I don't make my license go to waste. So now I'm streaming and I'm making use of the license as I go. There's another plus of today's stream. This also feels like it's not gold. These two are not gold. This is not gold. I feel like there could be a way simpler thing. I could apply a different material to this and not just squish them all into one, but I don't care. I honestly don't care. This is fine. Does that look better or does that look worse with the moss? Because if I turn it off, it looks pretty sick, right? It looks pretty sick. I feel like I should erase the moss around the gold a little bit. Let's see. I don't agree with people who want to end all dark humor. Me too. Not even close. I just like the music video more than the regular video. So I mean the divided anime opening, the one I made that as a joke. Since you're a Blender channel, now you'll do collab with Will It Blend. I don't know that guy, but if he's in a similar subscriber range as I am, there's no reason not to. If he's a super famous person, I'm probably not gonna be able to collab with him, because he's on a different rank. But yeah. This is cool. Yeah, it's a win-win for peeps. Yeah. Fun stuff. Paint! Let me paint something basic soft, black. Let's remove some of this moss here. I have nothing against you, but you're kind of making this look uglier. I don't want to remove it, I just want to dim the opacity on this area around the... like this, right? So you can still tell it's kind of dirty and grungy, but you can't tell the screaming green color that was there before. Like this. So it's just a little bit mossy, because it's way more obvious on the gold than it is on the green. It looks good on the green, it looks too much on the gold, so I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit so it looks better on the gold as well. What I like about this software is you have so much control when it comes to textures and layers and masks and stuff. It's amazing. I also found a seam in here, and I feel like I'm clicking too fast because the software's got problems with applying all my brush changes. Sorry! I just gotta do what I gotta do, alright? Let me do my thing. Wah. Like this. I just realized I'm still recording all this. So this stream is recorded. All the footage from this stream is footage that is gonna go into my YouTube video in the time-lapse thing. Yeah, this is perfect. I love it. This is great. I genuinely like it really much. I also want to go back into the gold, and maybe the roughness thing could have... Create material preset. No, could have like a grunge or something to it. Like grunge dirt. Let's do that. Grunge dirt. And now I feel like there should be a way for me to map the ranges here. So, no, it's just contrast and balance. Never mind. And the roughness was on like 0.6 or something. Never mind. It's fine. I could apply a fill layer with this and use that material as a mask, but it's fine. I really don't want to bother with this too much. So, back into perspective mode. This is starting to look pretty cool. So this is my turret. I remember what it looked like without any materials, but now this looks pretty cool. I wanted to add something else to it, though. Oh! The freaking most important thing of the whole thing, the freaking patterns. That's the reason I'm doing this. Sharp, don't just delete the moss. Don't make the moss go to waste. Let me consume it. I'll put it in a box. I'll save it and ship it over. Okay, let's see. If you don't recognize the channel, so you didn't get the joke. Will it blend as a channel when it put random stuff in a blender? Yeah, I thought I knew it's familiar, but it could also be a blender channel. There's so many YouTubers nowadays. It's a badass turret thingy. Yeah. Okay, let's get the freaking patterns. I feel like I'm gonna do the patterns on this and then I'm done with the stream because it's been 2.5 hours already. So I'm gonna increase the roughness here. Oh, please don't crash. Okay, it's fine. Oof. Oof. Do not paint the metallicness. I'm gonna add a black mask. And here's the thing. The color is gonna be this, but it's gonna be darker. So whenever I do paint on this, add a paint layer. So if I do this, this is what I'm adding. Okay, it's not dark enough, obviously, so let's bring it down like this. I'm now designing what type of pattern it's gonna be. And I also feel like the height map should be normal. So it's overriding everything normal. Oh, the normal map as well should be normal. Why is it blending? It should be normal. It should overwrite everything. Okay, so let's go back to height. What if I put this to multiply? Oh, nope. That's not it. Replace. Did I make multiple strokes or something? Yes, I did. The stroke opacity is not on 100%. Oh, that's what I was painting here. Okay, so replace is fine. If I do normal, it's also fine. I'm gonna keep it on normal because I don't know why. I'm used to it that way. But this is a bit strong, so let's bring the height back a little bit so it's not too intense, and bring the darkness up a little bit so it's also not too intense. There we go. You should pay attention to your brush opacity. Always. Because there's so many things that just go wrong. Let's see what the chat says. Thank you. Welcome. Nothing new in the chat. Alright, I'm just vibing here. I'm just creating. If you want to watch me do my stuff, you can watch me do my stuff. If you don't, it's your loss. Brushes. I feel like I could go for a little bit more of a hand-painted look, though. Because this one has it, and the middle one does not. So moss. I already have 4 modifiers, but I'm going to add the 5th one. I don't care. I want my blur slope in here. This is a bit much. So intensity. Like that. Quality. Okay. Source parameter. Contrast. No, source tiling. Intensity, just drop it down even more. Source tiling, raise it up even more. And blur. No, keep it on 0. Source tiling, raise it up. So it is moss, but it's kind of hand painted in. Although I feel like it looked better before, actually. I might remove this. Huh, strange. Gold, though. This is just paint, there's nothing else. I can't really add a hand-painted feel to this. Moss looks nice, but as soon as I add the blur slope, it kind of loses the form. It feels hand-painted, don't get me wrong, but it loses the form, so... Position. Oh, this is the position of the pattern, 0.5. Seed random. Image input custom noise. Let's go with procedurals. Blur noise? No, that's too much. Something hand painted like creases. Soft creases. Image input. Noise parameters. That does nothing. Why does it do nothing? Do I have to turn something? Source type. Custom noise. And this is my custom noise, right? Yes. Cool. I'm painting with the custom noise. That's nice. I'm learning every day, like I've said. Source tiling, maybe increase that. Okay, so this is without. I'm kind of adding a little bit of I'm deforming the lines to make it look like it's brushed. Can I rotate the picture, though? I cannot. Invert. No, that just ruins it. Let's see what the chat says. Random question. What do you consider the video you had the least fun and most fun making? Could be both Blender stuff or Minimator stuff. Least fun, I think, is some of the system episodes that I've done, honestly. System is a very demanding video to make. You have to do a lot of editing, a whole lot of editing, an enormous amount of editing, and even more editing. Sometimes 40 hours of just editing one video. It's tiring as hell. I don't like making system at all. Especially the system season 2 best moments. For some reason, it's severely underperforming. Like more, like 40% of people have seen it that usually see it. So if I usually get, I'm making up the numbers. If I usually get 1,000 views in 2 days, this one in 2 days only had like 400 views. So it's severely underperforming by 40% or something. Even though it's one of my most watched things ever, as well as best moments is usually the extra fun episode. So these are the best performing videos, but for some reason it's just worse than ever. So I don't know. It gives me an excuse. It gives me an excuse not to make system anymore because it's not fun to make and it gets way less views for some reason. At least that was the case with the most recent one. I don't know why. Animating gets fun until you have to export your animation in Minimator or Blender. No, actually, it's pretty fun because you spend all day making the things. You spent all day making your stuff, and then what is warping? And then when you click render, you just get to completely relax and forget about the day, forget about everything, like it never happened. Okay, I think I can increase the intensity here because I've made a custom noise, so intensity up. Ah, so this is what's happening. It's literally brushing it in that direction. So if I put it back to 1, maybe a little bit more, that's it. I wish I could rotate it though, that'd be pretty fun. I can change the position though. That's something. I feel like I'll just keep it on 0.5. I can increase the contrast. I don't want to do that. I want to keep it smooth. Source tiling. That's just too much. So if I undo this change, cool. I feel like that's my hand-painted moss feel. Now let's go for the patterns. Whew, we're getting close to the end of the stream. The most fun video, I forgot about that. I think, I don't know. Divided anime opening is one of the most fun ones that I've done. Because it was just no pressure, no quality pressure, no anything. Just let's make a meme. That's it. We just did it and it ended up looking pretty good. Anyway, the music's nice, the visuals are nice. It was like, it was made as a joke in 1 month. Plus, during the time when I was making that, I just moved to the capital. I'm here in my own place right now. I just moved here and I didn't know the city, so it was all still wild and exciting. Oh, I don't know where I am. And I had to rely on Google Maps and with the buses. Oh, there's like 60 different buses. Where do they go? I don't want to get lost. And it was an exciting time. And that's why I have to make sure you save. Yeah. I don't want to save while I'm using the software because it saves for like 5 minutes. It takes like 5 minutes to save and I don't like it. Chalk bold. I'm not on the paint layer and it's white. So I'm trying to find a directional brush. There is no directional brushes, is there? Fur. This just paints fur. I can make my tower into a furry. Great. Fibers. Oh, this is a good looking brush. Fibers line. This one even scatters it. I don't want that. How do I get a good looking brush to make Kyle's paint? Kyle makes nice brushes. Come on, Kyle. Don't disappoint me. Yeah. That's a nice looking brush. Kyle, have you actually done it this time? Okay, this is the hardness. Keep it on low. Kyle, have you actually done it this time? Orthographic. Let's test this out. So, one thing I want to try is not only... I don't know. The directionality of the brush. It's kind of deforming the shape. Part of me just wants to... Okay, the tattoo is still moist. I have to apply the cream every few hours so it stays moist, so it doesn't dry off. It's kind of starting to itch a little bit. I hope it's gonna go away, because it hasn't itched while it was in the foil at all. So I'm hoping it stays that way, and I'm one of those lucky ones that didn't get an itchy tattoo. Let's put the lights here. And is that it? Just a regular open one? Sure. Let's do this. Can I smooth my brush thing? I can't, right? It's not an option. What is this? No pressure, pen pressure. Okay, I don't have pen pressure. I don't have a stylus. You have a tattoo? Yes. You haven't seen? I've shown it a bunch of times. I guess you came here late. But look at this. It's difficult to see it here. Hold on. Let me just... Didn't know that. It's fresh. It's like 4 days old. Let me just increase my camera. Hi! There it is. It's the White Lotus from The Last Airbender. Like... Blah. How do I... There you go. Yes. It's pretty cool. It's fresh. It cost a lot of money. I'm kind of still salty about that, but it's worth it. I mean, it is a expensive thing. I have such a big head now. Looks badass. I know. I'm kind of hyped about it. I said towards the beginning of the stream that I didn't really like it at first because it's very saturated, but it's kind of grown on me. Like the saturated feel, it's nice. Plus, it's gonna fade eventually, right? So it's not gonna be as saturated anymore. Wow, nobody has seen my tattoo. I've shown it like 4 times now, I think. I feel like I'm showing it off too much. That's why I didn't want to say anything. But yeah, I'm still hyped. It's still a fresh thing. I have to apply a cream after the stream, probably. Although, it's still... Like, it feels rough, so you have a feeling like it's dry, but it's actually moist. It's a strange feeling to describe. I really want to take good care of it because, you know, I want it to last. But yeah, I don't want it to get ruined because I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life then. It's a permanent thing. So I'm taking good care of it. I'm a good boy. The tattoo artist would have been proud of me. I feel like this is one of the things that can actually be straight like this and like this. Oh, and this is the one that goes up. Come to think of it, like this. And this as well, like this. Yeah. Because the other one is gonna be down here. And it's gonna go here. And here. This is what I'm doing. I think I'll just use a lot of straight lines in this one. Straight lines look nice on the frontal design. So I feel like if I increase the brush here and just do something like this. Boop. And do something like this. Boop. And just continue drawing from here. Although it's curved, right? Which is the problem. So if I do something like this, maybe just a lot of small and short iterations. Like this. Just be careful with what I'm doing. There is slight deformations in here. Like it's not completely aligned, but I guess I'll add the, you know, it's like, it's stone. I'll add the grunges and stuff, so it's more natural. So I guess I don't have to be too accurate, but still I don't want it to, you know, be straight and jagged. I kind of want it, make it feel like it's curved. Thank you, it's saving now. I'm on a break for 5 more minutes. I love tattoos, but I also don't want to get them because I don't really enjoy spending money on purely aesthetic things. That's a good point, yeah. I was really hesitant on this tattoo. Look, oh, pretty sick tattoo, thank you. Especially when the cost is high, it's also high. Also, they're painful to get out anyway, so it's not like I'm missing out on many things. It took me 2 years. I've been considering this tattoo for 2 years. First of all, tattoos used to be a very taboo thing in my family. Like, oh, you're getting tattoos, you're like a drug dealer. It's like that. So I was obviously mostly against them for most of my life. But at some point, I don't know what happened, but the mentality just clicked, like just switched. My mom actually asked me. My brother got a couple of tattoos. Yes, tattoos do hurt. They're made with a needle. Like, she takes a needle and it punctures your skin like 70 times a second or something and just drills into your skin to get the ink there. That's the whole point. Tattoos are painful. This one took 4 hours. I've been continuously stabbed in my arm for 4 hours to get this here. But yeah, the mentality switched, and my brother got a couple of tattoos. And my mom actually accepted it quite well, considering the fact that it was a taboo thing most of the time. And at some point, my mom went up to me and said, hey, do you want to get a tattoo? And I was like, oh, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't know what I would do. That's it. And that's where it stopped. So I guess having a tattoo was a possibility at that point. I just didn't really know what I wanted to add, because once you get a tattoo, this is here for the rest of your life. This is not going away. This symbol is on my arm for the rest of my life now. There's no going back. So I was thinking for 2 years of what I should get. What should I get? Should I get a tattoo? No. I came across, you know, something with meaning. Obviously, I'm not just gonna tattoo my ex's girlfriend's name, because relationships don't last forever and tattoos do. So it's just an endless reminder of something that could have been and just bad memories. Don't ever do that. If you get a tattoo, don't ever get something temporary tattooed, because tattoo is permanent and the thing you're getting tattooed is gone. So don't. Something with meaning, say. So this is the symbol of the Order of the White Lotus from The Last Airbender. It's kind of controversial because it's a tattoo from an animated series, but I kind of like the the meaning and the philosophy behind the Order of the White Lotus. Like, it's unity beyond beliefs and nationalities and stuff. So it's you've seen The Last Airbender, you know what I mean. Like, the philosophy of the Order is pretty nice. So after consideration, I was like, sure, and I made this tattoo, and now I have it on my shoulder. I paid around 400 euros for it, so it was kind of expensive. But to be fair, it is colored, which what makes it more expensive, and it is quite large, which means it takes more time to make. So it's my fault that it is expensive. I could have gotten something smaller and more simple and no colors and stuff. But, you know, I have this mentality that says go big or go home. So if I'm getting a tattoo, I might as well save up some money and then get a proper one than just have something small. So now I've got this on my arm. It took 4 hours, and it actually wasn't as painful as people thought, as people said it would be. Like, I got this impression that it's like one of the most painful things ever. Because to be fair, there is a needle puncturing you 70 times a second continuously for hours and hours and hours, just drilling into your skin. But come to think of it, like if I have pain in my teeth, that's the type of pain that I couldn't stand. There's multiple types of pain. If I got a scratch on my arm, it's something pretty casual. So I guess I can tolerate the kind of pain that deals with scratches, like the high pitch pain, if that makes sense, right? Because teeth are usually very low pitch pain, but if you get a scratch, that's a very high pitch pain. I can tolerate the high pitches. So it wasn't that bad. When she was adding the black, I'm talking about this too much. Let me just increase the camera so at least you can see what I'm talking about. Oops, I moved something away. When she was adding the black colors, like the black outlines and stuff, it wasn't that painful. It was pretty casual, actually. It was like normal, nothing special. But after 2 hours or so, she started adding the colors. And the thing about colors is it takes a long time because the color is very brighter and it takes longer for it to stick on the skin. And you have to go over it multiple times, and she has to spend a lot of time in one area. So she was drilling on one part of my skin for a long time, and then as it just stopped, she went back to the same place because the color just didn't stick. And she was doing colors for an additional 2 hours. So altogether, I've been continuously stabbed for 4 hours straight, and that's when the whole arm gets sore and stuff. So in the end, it was kind of painful, but it didn't start off like that. It started off pretty casual. I just realized I went on a long rant about my tattoo, and the software was done saving a while ago. Gotta go back to work. I got work to do. Boop, 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 boop. I should probably reply because people... Tattoos are more or less painful depending on when you get them. I deal with either of the two, yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of zoning out. It's the part of the stream where the energy levels are kind of falling and stuff. I'm not as excited and hyped and energetic as I was at the start. That's also partially the reason why I want to kind of end the stream. Because even after the stream, I'm probably most likely gonna play a game of League of Legends or something, or watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then I'm gonna go back to working on this. Because I want to get it done. It's gonna be a YouTube video as well, so I'm really excited that I finally get to make content. Look at this! Yo, I like it! I like it! So many cool patterns! Woo! Hype. Let's see what the chat says. Oh, that's Discord. I was supposed to open this. But they're expensive as heck. Yes. My family, when I was young, were like, tattoos are bad and stuff. Yeah, same here. But now I actually appreciate tattoos. My friends have meanings with, you know? Yeah. Same here. I don't know. The mentality of people kind of switched when it comes to tattoos. Because before, tattoos used to be a stigma. Because, oh, only drug dealers and bad people get tattoos. It's like a stereotype, right? But now... people kind of see them as a form of art and in a way to put something meaningful on your body that lasts, and it's like a tool of expression, I guess. People's mentalities have changed a lot. I'll take this size of the brush and continue with my normal... It's gonna be easier this time because I have a guideline. Like this line here, I just follow the line. Boom, 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 dun, 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 dun. Catchy music. Wow. This is starting to look really cool, and, you know, I like it. I'm genuinely kind of happy with what I'm creating, so that's cool. That's always nice. This is the reason why you push yourself out of the comfort zone. Because you get stuff that looks like this. Like, ah! This is not in my comfort zone. Far from it. But, you know, I don't mind. It looks cool. Let's see what the chat says. Still alive. I'm still alive. Still doing. Streaming is demanding. Most can't stream for more than 3 hours. Yes, I'm getting close to 3 hours. My throat is also kind of tired because I'm not speaking on a normal volume. I'm actually speaking louder just because there's music in the background. I hear music in my earphones as well. The mentality here hasn't switched. Everyone is against tattoos for the same stereotype. And then again, everyone is here also racist or anti-LGBT or something, so it's not only that it's hated, but shouldn't be hated. No, I feel like they're more accepting nowadays. I feel like things have changed. Like, people are not the same as they used to be like 50 years ago, when the stereotype was really strong, like, oh, tattoos are drug dealers. Oh. I feel like it is way different. Okay, scale it down. Stupid. No, I feel like this. Okay, that's in the song. I thought there was a weird siren or something outside. I feel like... okay, if this is the point, I make a point here. And let's... this, and instead of going straight up, I want to curve inwards a little bit and then go up. Does that make sense? Does that look good? I don't know. I'm experimenting. What is this? No, that's ugly. Okay, so this is the end point. Let's just, you know, let's just do this. Let's just make it straight. Let's not complicate. That's it. That's what I'm doing. And I also feel like this middle part can be kind of colored in. Just like the main one. Oops. Just like the main one. But it's completely filled in. Like this. I also feel like, and I like using the word feel like. Okay, no, that's not enough. So if I make another one here. Let me just do this and extend it up. Is that too much? Like, I wanna get it up to here, but that means, like, if I add a point here, if I wanna make it like go into the same line, it's gonna be too close. If I do this, does that kind of hurt the form? A little bit. It makes it look like it's thick. It makes it look like it's fat. But I'll go with it. I'll go with it. Okay, shift right click. Okay, I've memorized the shortcut now. Let's see. One question, SharpWind, do you have any tips for Minimator/Blender projects not to lag? Even if you have a giant scenery or use too many rigs. I can't say much for Minimator, but Blender has this thing called occlusion rendering. I think it's called occlusion rendering. It's similar, I forgot what it's called, but it pretty much renders only the things which are inside the camera's field of view. So camera The camera casts 4 rays from all corners, so this is the field of view of the camera, and only things inside of this are getting rendered. Nothing outside, so it saves on a lot of RAM. That's a very big thing you could use. It also has several modes. For an example, here, I have a render mode up here, like rendering with eye-ray, so I can see the high-quality lighting, shadows, everything. I just don't turn it on, because I work in the shittiest interface possible. I'm pretty sure I could make it even shittier. I just haven't fiddled with settings. I don't know Substance Painter all that well. I know Blender better to just turn off all unnecessary things and just turn them on at the end when I actually need them, not before. Or when you render something, you can just set the... what is it called? The sampling size very low, turn on the noise reduction thing, and just increase the sample size by as much as you need to get rid of all the noise removal artifacts. Like that. Just minimize what you need, pretty much. Okay. So it's slightly below the half. I'm not accurate. Oh, also, wait, there's a gold plate here. What are you doing? Go away. How do you get here? How did I get here? It's all gone now. Oh, there's another one. Go away. How? How did that happen? Okay, so it's slightly below the center of this oval shape. So somewhere here. Boop. That's my center. Okay. Oh, what about this? So if this is... it's slightly past the corners of this thing. I should really take better reference. So this is slightly past the corner. So I'm gonna say it's here. Like this. And this slightly past the corner, so somewhere here. Like this. Cool. I am very professional by doing this, yes. This is slightly above this. I don't really have a measurement. Oh, so slightly more than 1.5 paintbrushes. So 1.5 somewhere here. Okay, cool. Where these... this is like on the... no, it's in the same trajectory path, I think that's the right word. I don't know. Something less. Like this. That's fine. Like this. Yeah, it feels the same. And this is just going like... I don't know, it's like this vertex here. It's like this one. Yeah. Once again, very professional. I totally do things the right way all the time and never mess up and do something goofy like this. But hey, it looks normal. I'm gonna save this because I feel like I've added so much detail and I just want to be sure I don't lose my progress. Let's talk. Let's chat. Okay, I've seen this question. I mean, like, my family's always wanted to kill me for having slightly longer hair, so I can't begin to imagine how they would react if I found out I wasn't straight. Probably gonna disown me. Blender has a literal 3-page Google document worth of shortcuts. Yeah, I've went on this rabbit hole before. Shortcuts. There's so many of them. You can also use placeholder low poly assets. That's true. That's true. The armor carving wants to be gilded. What do you mean gilded with G-I-L-D-E-D? Like gilded without the U, like with gold, just like in Minecraft, the gilded blackstone. I'm not yet sure if I want to move on to Blender, but I want to model one object. Sure, you can start simple. I'm planning a basic Blender tutorial. Just the basics. From beginning to end, how to create Blender stuff. I feel like I can close PureRef now. I don't need the reference anymore, because I'm not going from reference anymore. I've done all my reference that I could. I'm just, you know, improvising now. So... it's like 12:22 a.m. here. It's 5:22 p.m. here. You're currently... how long? 5 hours ahead of me. Nice. I was making a joke about the random gold spots. Huh. Oh yeah, the ones that I forgot to remove. I still have to stylize the strokes that I'm doing right now and finish all the patterns. I feel like it's gonna be nice. I hope it's gonna be nice. I'm really just excited overall. I hate the long saving time though. Why does it take so freaking long? Jeez. Like the previous update on the previous PC was fine. And I refuse to believe that it's the computer's fault because again, all the components completely outperformed the old ones, so I don't know. How this is happening, why this is happening. I really want to believe that this is Substance's fault, not my computer's fault. Only 4 people watching. I mean, it's been going on for 3 hours now at this point, so it's only reasonable. This video is gonna be available in my playlists. It's not gonna be public on my channel, but if you go onto my YouTube playlist, there's a playlist called live streams, and I put all my live streams in there. So you can still watch them if you want to, they just don't clutter my main homepage. Come on. You can save now, please. It's been a while. I would have think it's done by now. Me and Sharp have a few seconds of time difference, like our time zones are different in minutes. Huh. So you live in the same time zone, Sammy. I just want to stay in Minimator, just animate my own series using Minimator just to animate what I want started here on YouTube. I mean, that's also fine. If you don't want to move on, nobody is forcing you to move on. Okay, so what can I do with this? I feel like I have a good idea, so let's make one here and one here. Yeah, that's symmetrical. I feel like it was here, I'm not sure, but I don't care. I don't care about symmetry anymore, I just want to get this done. Yes, boop. Okay. And now I feel like, again, I don't know if that's the right decision, I'm just going based off my gut. Just do something like this, huh? Like this. And now connect this to this. Ooh, and I could also connect this to the bottom there. Oh, it's slightly deformed. Can't have that happening, so let's do this instead. So it stays uniform. Like this. Now it's going close in. It's tricky, right? You gotta have some symmetry still, especially if it's hand painted. It's, yeah. Let's do this. Okay, let's just stay true to this. Because it feels like it's going in the proper direction now. Oh! None of this is okay. I want to have a similar trajectory here. Like this and this. So it's kind of going in the same direction, like a similar angle. No? Okay, corner. And this. Sure, let's try that. It's fine. I have an idea on what I want to do with this. It's just difficult to execute properly. Like, boom. It feels symmetrical, doesn't it? Nope, I think I should go out more. Like this. Boop. Now it feels symmetrical. And now this thing is just gonna go straight, and there's gonna be triangles up there, and there's gonna be another one up there. I feel like that's the way to go. Now this light. So it's this corner and this one up there. Okay. And now this one is connected to that one. And this one can just go down like that. It feels symmetrical. It feels a little bit too much. So this and this. Okay, sure. It's fine. I'm not picky anymore. This and this. And there's gonna be another one on the top of that. Okay, let's check with oh no, I saved the project. Ah, muscle memory. I'm gonna be here forever. It was almost done. Okay, let's see. I think you're ahead of me by like 20 seconds. That's not a time difference. That's just clocks being out of sync. It's hard to get views on YouTube. I have a channel of my own with my animations. YouTube is a difficult ecosystem. There's so many stuff on the market. Like, there's so many stuff out there, it's hard to break through. How do I deselect this? Yeah, there we go. I don't want to get the weird outlines. And I still have 22 subs. Yep. It's hard to break through. Once you break through, it gets easier. According to Google, there isn't any time difference. Exactly. Or at least something. You're only ahead of seconds and not by minutes. That's not a time difference. That's the same time zone. Hard work and abusing the system might help you make more subscribers. Well, tomorrow we gotta go back to the weapon sketching and writing back to the lore writing to the SharpWind lore. Don't talk about this on the stream. Shh, it's secret. But I'm gonna say is, if you want to start a channel expecting to get famous and lots of views, etc., you've already failed. That's true. You gotta start from, you know, just simple, having fun. It's a hobby. It's an interesting thing. Currently busy with school though, so I have no time to animate. Yeah. Yeah. That's another factor, like school. I finished college, which gives me more time to work on this stuff, which is really amazing actually. I'm doing this right now because I'm free. Otherwise I probably would have been working. I have so much work to do. Finish my movie, edit my movie, then finish it, then produce another one in the following 9 months or so. Yeah. I just had a rough week. I pretty much had... I went home to my parents' house a bunch of times, which means I've skipped on my work that I have for Jake. What are we listening to? What are we listening to? Let's go back to genres. Hip-hop, vocals, instrumentals. Yeah, that's better. I was trying to say something, but I forgot. Yeah, I went home, so I missed a bunch of work for the YouTuber that I work for. I'm a editor for a YouTuber, which is my main source of income, believe it or not, right now. And I missed a bunch of work, so I had to edit 7 videos for him. I also had a photo shoot and a commercial shoot both on the same weekend, and I had to edit the commercial, and I had to edit 750 photos for the photo shoot that I had in the same weekend, plus those videos from Jake. And I also had to create a script for the 20-hour course on filmmaking that I'm hosting in real life in a month or so. All that, and I only had like 3 or 4 days left to do everything. Being busy is not too fun. I mean, being busy is fun. Being too busy is not fun. I love how I can't write properly from time to time due to being tired as fuck. Sharp also out of energy, so I can't read properly. It's just chaos. Yes, I just skip everything. Ah, it's saved. Let's get this bread, boys. Let's get this done. I'm done with this project already. Actually, no. Let's do it like this and like this. That's not symmetrical. This. Yeah, I'll take it. Let's swap it around, drag the lights, this, and this. It's like a big duck. It's a big duck with a face. Now this is gonna get connected down there. And I feel like I gotta erase this bit because that was not meant to be in here. Yes. I feel like I'm doing it injustice by, you know, warping all the lines and making incorrect margins everywhere. I feel like I can extend this by a little bit. Just a little bit, right? If I'm breaking the rules, I can break them everywhere. So this goes down into that. This one feels better, more consistent. Now, grayscale to 0, erase this bit that I don't need, put this back to 1. Connect these two together. Let's speed this up a little bit, right? Come on. Okay, so I've got these two lines here coming in. So if I do something like this, does it look odd? No, it does not. Actually, wow. Okay, cool. So something like this, I think, is symmetrical. Boom. And then I can just connect these two. Oh, yes. Cool. I've done another layer. Now, I feel like what I want to do with this is just go somewhere from the edge up here. And then back in and down here on the same angle. I feel like something like this. Or does that look weird? I don't know. Maybe I get to use like a thinner brush or something. Like, and make like a thinner shape entirely. So like something like this. Boom. Boom. And then back on the inside. Boom. So there's a clear separation. I feel like that's okay. I don't know though. I'll wait for the feedback. I'll open chat in a while. Boom. Somewhere up there. Boom. Boom. This is not symmetrical at all. Let's start from this direction. So this is also not symmetrical. How did that happen? Okay, let's scale the size down. Let's put this to 0. I don't know how that happened. Like this. And now if I put this back to 1, like this, and like this. It has to be way closer to this. So this gives me more space to work with this one. Like this. Up till that point. Yeah. And now I think it should go outwards till that point, like a half. It's like divide this entire length in half, and then if I go down, it should be the same angle as this one. So boom. There we go. Recipe for symmetry. And these lines really help sell the whole thing, so that's good. The back is not going to be visible. Let's see what the chat's saying. I don't use my animator. You guys are talking to each other. If I don't recover my main account, this will stay. I'll just stay like this forever. Yeah, hacks suck. Even though my animators really shouldn't be called Minecraft animations, even though they have anything to do with it. Okay. Okay. Just checking in on the chat. I feel like I can leave this part out, honestly, but for some reason I want to add more detail. So if I do something like this, so this is the middle. Let me increase the brush size to be the same as it was before. If I add a point here, I feel like if I do this, and just make a big triangle and then bevel the edges on the triangle. Like this, right? Big triangle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel the edges. So I'm going to do this pretty much. And just erase what's hanging off. Like this. And then I just switch to the grayscale mode and just do this, like a clean wipe. Like this. Cool, yeah. I'm liking this. I'm liking this turret. Okay, go back into perspective mode. Oops. Perspective mode. Am I too far away? Oh, I'm inside the model. Okay. So, this is what I got right now. Is there anything I can add? Anything. Like, not on the body, but maybe on the upper part here. I feel like this feels a bit empty. Maybe I can add like a little intrusion here. Paint. Oh, I'm on grayscale. So if I do this. Yes, I feel like I should. Just like a little line going around the helmet. Because I'm still trying to tie it all together. So it has the same style as it did on the bottom. I can notice myself getting more and more tired, really. I gotta finish this quick. I found another gold spot. How did you get here? Get out of my model. Stupid. The audacity. Oh, there's more. Where all is it? Like, where all have I misplaced little gold spots? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and just, you know, do a little janitor and clean up. I want to finish this line first, though, so don't get off track. Okay, gold spots. Let's locate them and destroy them. I feel like it helped me when I... these are not even gold. How? How did I... I'm pretty sure I had it down, right? I'm pretty sure I had everything fixed. Okay. Let's move the lights a little bit. This doesn't feel like gold. Let's see if it is gold or not. Yes, it is. Okay. Move on. This is also gold. That's just moss. Okay, I feel like my fear was not justified because I have done... Ah, there it is. Some gold splotches that were missed. Huh? Like that. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have much intrusion, but it's fine. And I feel like the rest of the model is still just gold and the way it should be. Yes. Okay. Now it should be all fixed. Oh, this looks so cool. This turret looks so freaking cool. I swear to God. There's a lot of harsh textures here, but I don't care. This part is not going to be visible. Like, there's the whole turret to look... Oh, there's the whole turret to, you know... How did this happen? This wasn't here before. You guys saw this wasn't here before. Is this some sort of a ghost model? Is this model trying to haunt me? Look at this, though. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that later. Okay, let's try doing something. Let's do this. No, that's the gold still. I want to get back to my patterns. If I do something like this, like if I add a pattern going around and around like bricks and stuff, does that ruin it or does that add to it? That's the thing. I said I'm gonna finish the stream soon, but I'm just continuing to find stuff to add. And if I do something like this, say connect these two, and then add another line that goes around here. Yeah. Hashtag art. Like this. Just rotate my camera somehow. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Whoop. How am I navigating this? Oh, no, this has to get removed because I've painted on the walls. Okay. Let's see what the chat says. Hi Sharp, welcome. Is that model random? Looks kind of cool though. Yeah, it is kind of random. It's something I wanted to do, and I'm doing, and I'm making a YouTube video on. And the YouTube video was taking forever to be made, right? Because I'm still working on it, so I decided to live stream instead, to give you guys some content, to give myself some progress. Today I started with just the base of the model finished, but I've also done, like in the live stream, I got the body done, and I also got, like the lower and the upper parts of the body both got done in the live stream. So if I do something like this, does that look better or worse? I don't know, only time will tell. If I put this to orthographic, I gotta zoom in. Yeah, I know, that's not gonna be smart. Perspective, now I'm obviously inside the model because, I don't know, it's a weird mapping issue. So, this is where it is. So it's something like this, and like this. Okay. This is gonna go on the complete 90-degree angle, so I know exactly where to put it on the other side. 90-degree angle. Boop. And now this one could also go on a complete 90-degree angle here. And now I just put one in the middle of both of them, so it's nicely mapped and evenly spread. Boop. Like this. Yeah, I think it fits. I think it looks nice. I don't know what to add to the head, though. I don't think there's anything I could add. So I feel like the final touches for today is just stylizing this to make it look like a nice line. Look at this. It looks freaking cool. It looks like something out of a cool video game. And I made this. Let's take a look at the whole thing. So we have the base and the lower half of the body. So this is what I've made today. And I'm honestly freaking excited. Yo! I have to drop down the blues here and add some blue and moss onto the base as well. I have to keep that in mind for when I get back to it. But this! Yo! I can't stop smiling. This is amazing. Homer fat body. Alright. I'd love to 3D print this. Same. Congratulations. It looks like a D&D figure. Yo, I am impressed in myself. This is why you push your, you step out of your comfort zone. This is the exact reason why. Because it's not as horrifying as you think it is. Sometimes it turns out really good. So add filter, add a warp. And the warp is gonna use the grunges, no, procedurals, clouds 3, because that's the same one that I used on the bottom. And the intensity is gonna go down on this. Like this. Oops. Intentional warp, directional warp. Source parameters. Source tiling. Like this. Blur. Oh no, gotta leave this on. Okay, and add another filter, which is now going to be the blur slope. And of course, drop the intensity and drop all the other settings. Source parameters, it's so sensitive. Source tiling. Okay, intensity 0.1. Oh, 0.01. I mean 0.1. Like this, that's what I wanted. So, this is the normal one. This is with applied deformations. I think it looks nice. For some reason, I feel like it could be a little bit more intense though. So, 0.8. 1. Just 1. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't look that bad. It's you can spot it from further away. So this is without any deformations. This is with the added deformations. I think it looks nice. Whew! This is what I got. And the 3-hour stream that I've made. Wow! I have such a long way to go. I've got both of the arms. Actually, no. Let's go one by one. First of all, I have the shoulders. I have the shoulder accessories. I have the shoulder lower parts. I also have the ribbons, which are hanging off the model. So these flag-like things. I also have both the arms. I also have the flag that he's holding. Where's this part of the flag? Okay, I also have the staff in his hand. I also have the floating crystal on top. For some reason, there's no... Oh, are the normals flipped? Okay, so he's holding a flag here. There's a flag that I've modeled to make it look like cloth. But it turns out I flipped the normals, so you can't really see it here. So this is all going to be covered up, this part. I'm going to have to flip the normals in Blender when I put this back. But yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, let's turn all this off. Low half, shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. This is what I've got. Woo! That's cool. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and send it to life when I'm done. Guys, thank you for joining the stream. Let's... Okay, I want to save this, and while it's saving, I get to talk to you guys. SharpWind has come a very long way modeling this statue to the real look and finish model that he spent making throughout the entire live stream. Exactly. Progress. Progress has been made. Okay, my tattoo is still moist. Okay, I figured it out. Looks like what you see in anime, those in Genkish games, those like statue armor types. I guess it's a similar style to Genshin, but it's actually from League of Legends. But I am trying a Genshin shading style. You got me there. I did take some inspiration from there as well. I imagine finding this inside Indiana Jones Jungle Temple. The best part is you made this sharp. Look at you improving. Yay! This is my end goal, bro. Let Riot Games hire you. This is my end goal. This is what I've been waiting for so long. I don't have college anymore. I've graduated. That's out the way. I got a job which is actually very sparing with my time. It's not the best paycheck, let's be fair, but for the amount of work that I actually do, it's pretty good. So, I have a substantial amount of time on my hands, which I get to spend making stuff like this, and I'm genuinely happy. I enjoy what I'm doing. It's not forced, right? I'm like, I want to do this today, and at the same time, I get to record myself and have some content while we're at it, so it's just a win-win situation. Another person asking about my tattoo. Okay, let's go through this again. I'm waiting for the file to save anyway. Yes, I have a tattoo. I've made it 4 days ago. This is what it looks like now. I know the Genkish stuff all about it. Yeah, I love the shading style. I've been really trying to get the 2D shading style. Best of everything for you, Sharp. You've made me want to animate stuff. That's great. Motivation is something that should be shared. Just, I'll say this again. We had this conversation during the stream before, but if you feel demotivated or scared about proceeding, just don't. Honestly, if you make something that looks bad, it's gonna look bad. You can't help it. Making bad stuff is part of improving. I have a ton of bad projects that nobody ever saw because I never wanted to show it to anyone or post it or something because it was bad, but it's... Making bad things and failing is not a bad thing. It's a part of life. It's a part of what makes you improve and gets you better at the craft. So keep on making garbage, like I've said. Quote me on that if you want to. No context. Keep on making garbage. The more garbage you make, the better you will get, and the less garbage you'll make in the future. That's the point. Those tattoo colors remind me of peacocks. I guess. It was supposed to be the 4 elements. Earth, water, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. We need a SharpWind showing off his tattoo compilation at this point. People are asking, you know, I'm live. The tattoo reminds me of something. Okay, guess where it's from. Guess where the thing is from. I said air, water, earth, fire. That's a really big hint. I just joined to keep on making garbage. Yes. Somebody clip that. Just... I need a clip of me saying, keep on making garbage to my stream. Like I'm insulting everybody, every one of you. Okay. I'm gonna close this down. I guess if I'm free, I might continue the live stream some other time, continuing this, but I might as well just finish it all off camera and provide you the whole video itself. Thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you had fun. Anything else you want to say before I go? There's nothing on my mind, really, except that I'm really happy with what I've managed to create. Keep on making garbage. Is that what a tattoo is from? Yes, The Last Airbender. The Order of the White Lotus is what it is. Anyways, guys, I'll be going now. I have to make dinner. I'm pretty hungry, and I have some work around the house left to do. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Stay sharp.